right. Good morning. How's everybody? What's up, Antonio? Hey, I saw you sent me a Google. I was running around crazy yesterday. Um, so did you connect it and I gotta fix it, or is it? You know what I mean? Talk to me. Good morning. I'm like, I know you like, dang. Good morning, Nidra. What you doing up so early? I'm just trying to see if Antonio, you know what? I started a little bit early yesterday, and I wondered, did I beat the traffic or something? You know, I'm just trying to see what I did yesterday. Because that 37,000 is still really making me be like, what the hell? How y'all feeling this morning? Good? I'm still doing some show prep. You are getting a little bit more behind the scenes. Crazy. Good morning. Sorry, y'all, taking notes, taking notes. I want to make sure I give you, I try to make sure that I do my best to give you all the best show, and I spend a lot of time prepping. People think a lot of times that I don't, that I just do it, but I take a lot of time reading, as I am doing right up until the last minute. What's up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Sonia, did you see we had 37,000 views yesterday? 37,000. I did no boost, no nothing. I don't ever boost. I was like, how the hell did we get to 37,000? But the numbers yesterday were like off the meat rack. You know, I was wondering if we kind of got in like the morning, you know, like if you're scrolling through your videos in the morning on Facebook and maybe we got in there some kind of way. I don't know. Good morning, Susan Peters. Hey, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast. What up? What up, Sean Howard? Can you see if you can find Trump welcoming Joe Biden to the club? All right, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. It's the weekend. You ain't gonna want none after Monday.
Just a little bit.
It's Monday.
I just want to remind.
Right,
Call you.
Oh, it's fine. If you want me to save it over the weekend.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, you gonna save two of that long?
You ain't gonna. Just a little bit.
I'm cool. I'm just saying you're gonna wait. I made it last night. You're gonna eat tuna from last night on Monday? No.
Actually, you know what?
No.
It would actually be Tuesday.
Right.
I don't send you to Tuesday.
You know when I do it during the week.
But I do want to see what you're working with.
Oh, I got skills, bro. What I didn't do, I started to get some celery, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna chill. Sometimes I like a crunchy tuna salad.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday I just did boiled eggs, mustard, little
I just
Hellman's.
want to see how you get down, man.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to do us a barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? We need to do a barbecue like on the back. Ooh.
If they would let us do, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, y'all. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Get the shares cracking early in the morning. Hey, hey, hey.
Happy Friday.
Good morning.
Bacon in here already. Jesus.
All right, y'all. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. All right, let's get to you, Tizab. Rhythm Nation. Rhythm Nation.
Yeah, that sounds good. Good morning.
What's up?
Dance, 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 dance. You can't stop singing.
All right. All right, y'all. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast.
Have Nancy talking about Joe joining the straight arm club. I think that Trump was a tweet.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Cool.
Like the how you like it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
When
Okay.
you want his tirade,
Yes.
print it out.
No, you don't gotta print it.
But I got the answer. You just let me go.
Okay. If you want my money, if you think I'm sexy, come on, baby, let me know. If you really need me, just reach out and touch me. Come on, sugar, let me know. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Wow, oh yeah, that's bogus. That is bogus, Joe. That is what they like to do, though, Joe. It is the banning. Good morning, Nidra. Good morning, Oscar. Good morning, Laverne. Good morning, Kang. What's up, Sean? What up, Carmen? Coburn, Antonio. What up, Tony Romero? Christian Pollard. What up, Gene? What up, Blake Turner? Bluefy Mob. How you feeling, boy? What up, Carlton Smith? What up, Philip Samuels? Denise Russell, Dr. Darlene, what up, Rhonda Spry, Teresa Robinson Thompson, what up, CL Cross, what up, I think I got you, Denise, what up, Michelle Towns, what up, Joe Jackson, V Greasy, what's up, man, what up, Melvin Griffin, what up, Susan Peters, what's up, Hassan, Felicia Gatewood, all the way from the crib, you know what I'm thinking I could do? I could drop this. Right? And then I could raise this. Let's see how we put this up. Todd, let me see where you at, man. Where you at? Take a slide to the, hold on. Okay, you're great. I sounded like Cliff when I said that. Okay, you're great. Let me get a cup of coffee.
On the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Rise and shine. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Rise and shine with the WVON morning show.
Wake up, wake up.
Featuring Mace Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON morning show.
Wake up.
Call 773-591-1690.
Wake up. What's up, y'all? Take a moment to share the broadcast. How y'all feeling? What up? WJG Collins. What up? Okay, are y'all coming to the meeting on Tuesday? Don't forget the What's in It for the Black People meeting this Tuesday. 7 o'clock. 2907 South Wabash. Be in the building. What up, Brother Patai? We can talk today. What up, Laverne? What up, Tiger? What up, Jamila? Let's do it. What's going on with myself? No. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and you know what? Sitting in with me, I'm going to have to change that up, Ty. It's like I keep saying sitting in with me, but it's like, man, I think you're here now. you here now, brother. You here. So
The seat is bolted?
the seat, well, it's not bolted because, we got these rolling chairs around. But here until the foreseeable future, and you know how that goes. Todd Stroger, hey man, Todd, I'm glad that you know what? It's good to know when I come in and sit in my chair who's gonna be across from me, man. So I'm looking forward to it, and I enjoy having these conversations that we have.
Stability.
Yes, stability plus, you know what, reality. It's some stability and some reality, because I really feel like sometimes we are living in a political fairy tale world. Like the people setting the narrative are setting the narrative from a perspective of those who may not have participated at some point in the process. And so what I enjoy, Todd, is actually having someone that I can sit across with who may have had some of the experience. We may not always agree, but you got a sense of what, it takes to put it together. I'm a little bit on the radical side. You still pretty, right in the middle. You haven't given up on it, but I'm going to tell you, it's a great time, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, but let me do that. So let me do this. Let me say what's up to the rest of the morning show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? Annette, how you feeling today? Windy City Live?
Live, yeah.
Yes.
More about you watching Windy City Live than in 2 years ago.
Wow. You know what? You did.
Deep, Maze. You opened up.
Yeah, I learned a lot of stuff I can make fun of you about, but
I know, right?
and maybe later.
Oh, you know what?
You're sensitive.
Yeah, sensitive.
You're sensitive.
You know what? We're going to talk about that. Because I didn't realize. You know what? That was a... Well, let me come back to that, because I do want to talk about that, because it did. I feel like when I saw it play back, I was like, did I really just do that?
You went there.
You know what? Let me talk about that in 1 minute, because I'm gonna come back to that. So let me say what's up to the rest of the morning show team, because we got to get this thing to 50,000 feet. What's up to the Wonder Twins in the cooker? How y'all feeling today? Y'all look. You have a special glow. Those are the voices of Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins, the Wonder Twins, and it seems like we got everybody on the plane. So let's get this thing to 50,000 feet. And you know what? We will start off the day with yesterday. I left here. I've been on a little streak, but I left here yesterday. I left here yesterday and went to go check out I went to my stylist, Terrence Van Wade. You know what? Make sure y'all check out Terrence to pick up an outfit, and then I headed over to Windy City Live. And when I got to Windy City Live, it was all a buzz. It was all a buzz because
You were there.
no. Actually, no. They were. And look, and it was funny because every time I go, it's super welcoming and everybody's like, "Hey!" But it felt something was kind of different. And when I walked into the green room, it was like there was all tension. Because guess what, y'all? Valerie Jarrett was there.
Oh, that's right. She came in on.
So we were in the green room, and I don't think Valerie Jarrett knows me at all, but I'm gonna tell you what, her handler certainly did, and it was like
They grabbed you?
it was one of those like. They always kept the space between us so that there was never so I would go into if I went into one dressing room to go get makeup, then she would it was really interesting. You know what? I can. But you know what? Yesterday on Windy City Live, I don't know how we got there. I really don't, and I really don't know how I feel like when I watched it yesterday, like Carrie was like, oh, she jumped up and she gave me a kiss, and I was like, damn, the brother's gonna be like, you bogus, you bogus, you bogus. But
I think that you guys were talking about relationships, and then you kind of morphed into how you started to court Carrie and how you loved her long before you dated her.
Yes.
She kind of brushed you off for a while.
Ugh.
Because you were in a previous relationship in your marriage, and then that came and went, and then you were like, I'm free to pursue the love of my life.
Yes, and she still was like, nah, dog. She gave me, you know what? But it all that ends well because she got the ring and I got Carrie.
And then the wait period.
Yeah. That. You know what? I didn't think it was that fascinating though. So the wait period about once we decide to get engaged, we decide to tap out to be celibate for those months in between.
And it was about 5 months.
Yeah, and we lived together too.
Yeah.
I think actually with everybody's listening, we were celibate the whole time. Please, her dad, the whole time it was just right. So, but it was you know what? I had a really good time on that. Windy City Live. It was a pretty cool experience. I love going to Windy City Live. It was because I'm not so political, and I feel like I get another part. But they did ask me about Kim Foxx.
You were political.
I got political. I was mad. Hey man, off Kim Foxx. Off Kim Foxx. Did y'all see all those police officers yesterday?
I sure did.
Okay, so may I offer context to this? So you saw all of those white police chiefs up there, and they were all shiny and bright and nice, and standing up there looking like the S. Let me not say it. I'm about to say I'll get in trouble. Next time I'll be in trouble. But did you notice that when they went for the rebuttal, they went to Harvey? When they went, and no shade to Harvey, but you know how they do code words and code in the realm of white people, Harvey is like Detroit. Detroit is code to white people. In Illinois, Harvey is code to white people. And so here you have all these white police chiefs lined up, and then the rebuttal is from the chief of police from Harvey. And again, I'm not tripping out, but I understand the context. No shade, I promise you, no shade to Harvey. But when you know what they're doing, and then you see that the press is being complicit in it.
Yes, they are.
Right? When they've now joined in on the team, and it's like I said yesterday on Windy City Live, we cannot pile on. And I'm going to tell you, y'all, recognize that Kim starts circulating petitions in September.
Mm-hmm.
This is all leading up to when people go out in those white suburbs and try to go get a Kim Foxx petition signed. Guess they're going to be like, yesterday I noticed, and did you see, even when I was talking, it's already setting in for white people.
Yep.
Right? They were saying she has when Ryan, I was like, Ryan. He was like, Ryan said she has a reputation for being soft on crime. I was like, Ryan, how? When did she get that? And it's but it's working in the minds of the others, not us.
Well, you got to remember, for what most people don't realize is there's 130 villages out here. So all you need is a handful of chief of police to say she's soft on crime, and that becomes a narrative. So she's soft on crime for everybody now.
Exactly. Well, no, she ain't soft on crime, because y'all don't forget. See, and this is my thing. Now there's a growing chorus of black people that are saying, well, I don't know. Maybe. Nah, homie. Remember 4 years ago when y'all swept in the office was because you wanted justice for Laquan? Now you got millennials talking about I don't know about Kim, I ain't did enough. What you think you gonna get coming up? Look, let's talk about it all when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with these.
What's up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Todd, I'm going to turn the camera to you, and you may have at him.
Yeah. No, this topic is still moving and shaking up. I looked at the news this morning, and on the 5 o'clock news, they were still talking about Kim Foxx, and I'm trying to remember how it started out. It wasn't. I think I turned on while it already started. And as Mays just said, they talked about well, they didn't even talk about that. I take it back. So at the end, they said the chief of police of Harvey says that he thinks she's done a good job. So that was like 4 seconds, while most of whatever they said before I actually turned had to be a negative part, where they were trying to set the groundwork for why she shouldn't be the state's attorney. My hope is that not her, but someone who was close to this will put together some people who know this kind of stuff, experts. They will get on, have a press conference, throw in some chief of police or some other legal types, lawyers, that such, and talk about the facts. What the program has done. It's had to save some money, and what it really is. Because if you don't set the narrative, they will, and the press is not going to do any real research and come back and tell you, well, this is not what it seems. They're going to listen to the guys who make the loudest noise. So this is interesting. The fight has already started. She surely is in re-election mode, and should have been from the start. But sometimes people don't realize that they have enemies who are ready to chop their head off at any moment, and they're just waiting for the opportunity to sneak up behind you and get the okay from the crowd to swing. So she needs to have a separate team from her state's attorney team, doing business of the day, but there also has to be a team to protect her. So she needs to be protected. So hey,
She need a hand of the queen.
See, I don't know that reference, but
See,
I
man.
know it's Game of Thrones.
Well, you ain't got no time to catch up. Game of Thrones, man. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Take a moment and share the broadcast. Hey, did y'all see? Have you all been paying attention to Lori Lightfoot? Oh, Lori Lightfoot will be on the Perry Small Show today. Ads, tune in. They be trying to, it's all good. What up, Mike Brown? What up, James Matthews? What up, Laverne Smith? What up? What up, Vase? What up, Susan Peters? Can I tell y'all something? What's up, Susan Lombard? We have not had lunch in centuries. What up, Shippy? What up, Tracy Reasonover? What up, James Matthews?
You're listening to the morning show with Mace Jackson on WVON.
California Rose. Oh. What up, Ian? You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. Was that the big Snoop D-O double G giving a shout out? You know what? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's the WVON morning show.
So, you don't know nothing about no Stevie Wonder, so you didn't even need to mention that.
What you mean I don't know nothing about Stevie Wonder? Stevie Wonder's a musical genius. Stevie Wonder's a musical genius. What? You making fun of Stevie Wonder?
Thank God for Eddie.
You know thank God for the old Eddie, cause I don't know what happened. He lost me with the plumps and clumps and all that stuff.
But because you got old.
You know what? But I'm gonna tell you, Eddie Murphy. The more I go back to Eddie Murphy, when he was at the top of his game, let me tell you, Eddie was answering the question, what's in it for the black people, boy?
Yes.
Them black cats, I would go back now and I'm like, hold on. Wait a minute. Eddie Murphy, you was doing your thing. Sometimes you don't appreciate them till they went gone. All right, check it out. Donald Trump, Mueller report. Do you think they're going to let that Mueller report out? The Democrats are determined to get their hands on that.
They are determined.
They subpoenaing, they snapping out, they foaming at the mouth. And you know what? What's old boy Warren Barr? He just be chilling. He be all right.
And you know, President Trump doesn't care. Any press is good press for him.
Right, right, because he's gonna make up a name for somebody in it. Did you see that Bob Martwick passed a bill down in Springfield to get an elected school board?
Yeah, but isn't this the second time they passed it out of the House?
Second time it's passed out of the House, and then it goes to the Senate to die. But here's my thing. First of all, why is Bob Martwick shouldn't come outside for a long time?
Why is that?
Because Bob Martwick began the beginning of the end of the Preckwinkle campaign. Remember when he went to go cuss out Lori Lightfoot at that event, and she stood toe to toe, and then it went viral on social media? You remember that?
I remember the incident. I didn't look at it, so I didn't know who the character was.
Oh yeah, it was Bob Martwick.
Oh.
Genius. So now he's trying to redeem himself with the Chicago Teachers Union, because they are. And did you hear the Teachers Union is preparing? So can I ask a question? At what point do you? And no shade to the Teachers Union, but I'm still watching on social media people like hating on the outcome, and my question becomes, when do you stop and say, okay, we got to stop fighting at least for a minute to see where everybody's positions are and see if there's an opportunity to come together? It's like, is there ever a point when we get tired of fighting?
It's too early to fight. You don't know what the...
Oh, no. They planning to fight already. And I'm going to tell you like this. Lori Lightfoot has released the top shelf of her cabinet. And can I tell you, in my estimation, yeah, we'll talk about them. We're gonna talk about that at 7 o'clock. But I'm gonna tell you that a lot of you know what it looks like to me? The green team revisited in black.
What's that?
It means that, you know how it seems like she plugged from the old days.
Oh.
And it seemed like the old plugs are coming back. I see fingerprints of. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking is happening right now. But I am going to say that it is very interesting to see some of the appointments in cabinet positions. And I think that when people, like this whole concept of reformer, I don't know if that's going to be the case.
No.
I think
the people who were behind there were pretty much the same people who've been in politics forever.
Exactly.
And as people were trying to let people know, that when you belong to a large law firm, that firm is political. They ain't playing around either.
And you are speaking from experience. So we're going to talk about that. Did you all see this Timothy Pitson prank about the family?
I just saw that the guy's 23 years old. Did you see anything else about it?
That he had just been released from prison. He was emaciated and chopped up in little pieces. Not chopped up in little pieces, but not beaten up. But he looked like he was like starved, and somebody saw him in a sweatshirt, and they found him and they felt sorry for him. But guess what? them white cops like, oh no, you gonna pay for that. You ain't gonna get the Jussie Smollett. Nah, they was like, let me just tell you, someone will pay for this. He will not get away with this. How about this, yo? Jeff Bezos and his wife got a divorce. She didn't get half. She got 25%. Guess what she got?
How much?
$35 billion.
That's a lot of money.
$35 billion. That was a hell of a divorce, boy.
Hey, you know what? It's just like any divorce. Money is money. I don't know why people get all excited about that. So what? They were rich. So what are you gonna do about it? Just because we ain't rich, we should get excited because they had to split up millions and billions of dollars?
I'm gonna tell you what I feel like.
I'm not excited.
I'm not excited either. I want to cut.
Oh, I think she should have it. That's why I don't care. It's just regular divorce.
Okay. Well, when you have a $35 billion regular divorce, you let me know, cause that ain't regular for nobody, man, I know.
I hope I will be talking to you about that in about a year.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Yeah,
good luck. $35 billion in the divorce settlement. And just think, that was just, if she would have went for half, she could have got 70. That makes the Bob Johnson divorce look like peanuts. I mean, when you got $35 billion, you know, but I guess after like a billion, well, I guess after like 5 billion, you split it, you ain't gonna never see it. How about, did y'all see that the Walgreens CEO lost 1.2 billion in one day?
That's crazy. Huh?
Ain't that crazy? And he's still alive. Cause he didn't jump out the window.
No, that's because he's still worth like 13 billion.
All right, how about this one? Joe Biden. Trump welcomes Joe Biden to the Gropers Club. You know, Joe Biden, I'm going to tell you what. You know Joe Biden copped him a couple squeezes in the time. He took advantage of his position. I don't care what y'all say.
I don't know. I like Uncle Joe.
Ain't you the one who was talking about handsy uncles last week? Yo, I'm still a little uncomfortable about that situation, Todd. Handsy uncles.
All right, I've said enough.
All right, and the Boeing 737s. Okay, how about the Boeing 737? I think so. Ralph Nader says they should be grounded. I think.
I haven't heard from you in a while.
All right, well I tell you what though, because you know he started out as a consumer advocate, sort of like Pat Quinn, you know.
Yeah, just like him.
A spoiler. 30. Look, man, he's saying that those planes should not be flown again. Let me ask you a question. When you invest that much money in those jets, in those planes, do you think Boeing is going to say, we got a recall on these? You just ordered $50 billion worth of planes. We got $3 trillion worth of orders for these planes. We're going to just cancel them all. I think it's going to be a lot more dead people before they cancel all those planes. I'm going to tell you what, though. You're going to have to show me what plane I'm flying on before I get on it. Because if it says 737, I ain't going. Yep. Did you all see that? Trump is nominating Herman Cain for the Federal Reserve, allegedly.
Black guy, right?
Yeah, remember the pizza guy from Little Caesars? Pizza. The black dude.
Yeah.
He had the 999 tax plan. I used to write about him all the time. I liked Herman Cain. He used to tell it like a T.I. is. How about the last one, Jussie Smollett? Mike McAuliffe. You know Mike McAuliffe, don't you?
Yeah, we served together.
You served together.
I served with his old man.
Really?
See,
they passed it on. Well, he's not. Let me tell you what he's doing. He's trying to pass a bill in Springfield that will ban companies that use Jussie Smollett from doing business in Illinois.
Man, I will say, white people will do anything for publicity.
Man. Right,
they know how to stoke the fire. They realize that when white people get together, it just takes a second.
As my friend, as our Lion's Den, one of the kings of the Lion's Den, King Mufasa Red says, white supremacy is a team sport. Look, when we come back, we are going to talk about the Democratic Party of Cook County, because I got questions about the real value of it. We'll talk about it all when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690.
It's brought to you by... With the Uber app, you can request a reliable ride.
How y'all feeling today? No, Uber, you ain't advertising with Maze Jack? Then no. I want to encourage everybody that's watching, if you are looking to be part of the most influential newsletter in the city of Chicago, I'm going to tell you, the people that read my newsletter, you wouldn't believe it if I told you. You just wouldn't believe it if I told you. I don't believe it when I'm checking it. You all want to get the word out? You got an issue, a problem, a concern? Definitely consider utilizing the Mays Said newsletter as well.
I mean, it's not like I didn't hear you, but it's still
Right.
funny.
Give me your email address. You brought your camera? I mean, your,
He got to. He in the building now. You got to be interacting. He trying to do the stories. He's supposed to be part of the social. I'm going to see if I don't see him sharing the
I'm
broadcast.
trying to make this social.
so I'm like, let me get it since you are part of it.
What up, Joshua Flynn? Who is rocking with us this morning? What up,
Oh, yeah.
Kang?
And then you get to send me stuff.
You want me to actually
What up, JS? What up, Shopwell? What up, Ahmad? Ahmed? What up, Artie? What up, Rose? Rose, did you hear we shouted you out in the podcast? Take a moment, share the broadcast.
Let me know so we can be guests.
Right.
Like California roll.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
You got a Scarface back
Gonna
there?
be in it. I don't know nothing about no
Don't I
stuff.
got a Scarface drop?
Let's see. I'm trying to be like Maze. I need to start my own thing, so now I need something like what's in it for the black folks, but that's not quite what I'm looking for, but something catchy like that. I have to try and be creative myself. This isn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to call one of my creative relatives.
What to do what?
I need something, some kind of branding for my business. What do they call those things for?
A logo?
A logo. See, I've been out of the world so long, I can't even remember things like
You
logos.
should just join the mob, Todd. If you join the mob, then we just we just figure out an equity split. You just join the mob, bro. You that's all.
He talked so much in the 90s talk, it's crazy.
That's real, man. You fucked up, Holmes. You joined the gang. Remember when Frog said that in Colors? And his-
I just told the group you talk so much in 90s talk, it's amazing. Yeah.
Kunta Kinte? Your mama named you Kunta? I'ma call you Toby.
That's terrible.
What up, Michelle? Y'all take a moment, share the broadcast. What's up, Urka? Did y'all see yesterday we had 37,000 views? Did y'all see that? I think I'm gonna have to start at a quarter till. Start the broadcast at a quarter till. We at a 175 right now, and we ain't even at 6:30. Something is happening, people. Now, Vince Bass said that it has to do with the conglomeration of media connects and everything coming together. I am waiting on the statistical analysis from Aunt Tennille to find out what's going on. What's up, Diane Scott? Diane, our condolences on your loss of your beloved. What up, Alicia Bimford? What up, Michelle Flagg? What up, Kemp? What up, Mario? Who is Mario? Mario V. Kemp? He said, what up, Mr. President? What up, Tracy Walton?
Oh, Marlo. That's Marlo. Marlo Kemp.
Who is Marlo Kemp?
He used to be the CFO of 4th Reserve District.
See, man,
And he also used to work for Tory Barrett. He was like their finance guy. He's been around. Good man.
what up, Arnold Coleman? Are y'all coming to the What's in It for the Black People meeting this week? It is Tuesday. I'm telling y'all, though, I really am thinking about changing the What's in It for the Black People to Sundays and making it more like a service.
I told you. What you was a preacher?
Not John. No, John Scott did not pass. talking about Diane's, I believe, father. You are welcome. I appreciate you. Yes. I'll be like, everybody in the back, let me hear you say, what's in it for the black people? I'm sorry, Diane, everybody, Diane's mom. It's not a church. It's a temple. A temple of what's in it for the black people. We could convert the school into the University of what's in it for the black people. 2907 South Wabash. The temple. Mom is going to be the minister of blackness. Tennille, you will be the deacon of finance. Did y'all see? So it's going to be like, basically, what's in it for the black people is becoming a philosophy, a mindset, spiritual, political, educational, from the grassroots. I'm telling you, right? And we bring it all together and we infuse the blackness into all aspects of our lives. Not from the sense of not from a religious sense, but from a sense of one-mindedness and likeness to move our community forward. And instead of using the Sunday to fan our emotions, we use the Sunday to build the black Mecca. I'm telling you. Mom will be at the church. She'll be at the temple. We'll have us a black jet. Well, we'll go to all the places and convert and build more black mindsets. Dance tonight. Money tonight. Let's do what we need to do. On Sundays, Tamiko, it's a trend day. Girl named be up for sure. I don't know. Everywhere. Say, man, I wanna dance tonight. I want my dance tonight. I want my money tonight. Thinking, baby, damn. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, not sitting in, staying. You off the couch, dog. You know, I was watching Half Baked the other day, and it was like dude on the couch.
Man, you have to mention that again.
The dude on the couch. You ain't on the couch no more, Todd. You are officially, you got a room and everything. It's the WVON morning show, and so y'all know how we do after the 6:30 break. We tried to get into the social media question of the day, so I'm gonna jump right in. The last two chairmen of the once powerful Cook County Democratic Party have gone down in crushing defeats. The highest ranking members have been complicit, if not accomplices, in fleecing of the taxpayers. And based on the last few election cycles, they can't even turn out the vote. And if you're so lucky to get the endorsement of the Cook County Democratic Party, then you get to give them $50,000 for their endorsement, and then you will get to work with overly important, inexperienced staff who can't win for themselves. And with less than 40% turnout, I'm really starting to question the value of their endorsement. But besides the excuse for losing, I'm gonna mess that up. So after you get the endorsement of the Cook County Democratic Party, Todd, so I'm trying to figure out what is the value of being endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party. So back in the day, when there was the powerful machine that we still talk about,
Right.
They were responsible for turning out the vote. And it wasn't they didn't wait for the people to go. They didn't go with the people. They told the people how to vote. And the people voted their way, and that was the value. Now it seems like, Todd, if you get the endorsement of the Democratic Party, you pay a lot of money, they send out a couple pieces of mail, and then it opens you up to getting shook down by every single committeeman when you go to their area, because not only do you have to pay the party, but you have to pay every committeeman to be on their palm card. And it seems to me that the value of being endorsed by the party used to be that once you got the endorsement of the party, they put all of their might and weight behind you. Now I'm looking at this and I'm saying, is there really a value in being endorsed by the party? Besides, like, if you're a judge and getting slated. Like, what, Todd, from your perspective, is the value of getting endorsed by the Democratic Party?
So when I was a committeeman, Burton Terrace was the committeeman for the 42nd ward, and he got up once and he just gave kind of a little history speech, and what he talked about was how the Democratic Party of Cook County is actually a club. There are members in the club, and the club is supposed to support each other, just like all clubs in our fraternities and sororities and all that kind of stuff. And as you know, with the extinguishing of patronage, the club doesn't have the same power it had to. And as you had people who came in the club who were decided that they wanted to be members of the club, but their idea was to kind of to break the club up, and I guess that would be the independent Democrats. The club lost some adhesiveness, as people weren't always pulling in the same direction. So now you've got all these laws that make sticking together almost illegal. So in some ways, I think you're absolutely right. They have lost their ability to get the message out, because that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the message. This is the guy we support. And if you support him, he'll support me, and I'll be able to do things for you. So that pipeline chain to your neighbors is broken. And I think for some years, the people at the most power were happy with that. They're like, well, shoot, I'm powerful without the club. The club would get in my way, and people would try to tell me what to do. So people like, the speaker,
Right.
There's no sense for having the Democratic Party being powerful. Now he's all powerful. And as I always say, he's his own party. He can do certain things and no one's going to ever question him about it.
And so, but here the challenge becomes, when it's time to be loyal, they hold black people in the party. They try to hold them to the loyalty standard. And
there's a caste system in America.
But I'm saying we turn out the
bottom, and they know it.
And so what happens is we get in charge of the party, and then we don't take control. We get in charge of the party and then do what the white folks tell us to do, and then the white folks will pick another reason to go. Like, they'll tell you have to be loyal because the party endorsed this person, so we got to stick with them. But then when the white boys come up with a different idea and they want to go somewhere else, they can go do whatever, And then we say, well, we got to stick with the party. Like, for instance, in my estimation, like if you are an endorsed member of the Cook County Democratic Party, aren't you supposed to go with the slate, quote unquote?
Right. Everybody is supposed to be pulling for the same group. But like I said earlier, once the independents started becoming committeemen, they were like, I'm not going with the slate. I don't like those people.
And so here, meanwhile, the black people like, I'm going with the slate. And then the next thing you know,
well, no, there were black committeemen who were independents too, like Bobby Rush and Danny Davison, and they wouldn't go with the slate.
And we see how that's worked out. We'll be back after traffic and the weather. So now, if you're a candidate, if I'm looking at this and I'm a candidate, why do I spend $50,000 to be endorsed?
Mailers.
Yeah, but I could spend $50,000 and mail my own damn self.
Yeah.
If I spend $50,000, I pay you $50,000 up front to get my name on a list, or I spend $50,000 and I send a whole piece that's just me. Right? So you get on this thing, and right now, all the bogus people are coming out the party. Think about it. Ed Burke, Mike Madigan, Tony Breckwinkle. Right? Like, I'm saying, like, when you see all of the negativity, like, I almost say if it was me, I would be, like, not endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party.
You see, you get more.
If you had the ability to get your message out. See?
There's the problem. Most people have no ability to organize because basically you need funds to get all over the county. Or you're going to have some very loyal people. But you're going to have a lot of people if you're running like countywide or even citywide.
But again, they send out for $50,000, I could do much more value. I can find much more value than being listed on a piece of mail that I'm going to throw away because I see, like, how does Tony stay the chairman of the party? If it's me and I'm running, like can you imagine Kim Foxx having mailers getting sent out to the whole county with Tony Breckwinkle as the president of the party, chairman of the party? Can you imagine anybody that's running in the next election wanting to be associated with the party?
No, you're right. I think there's going to be problems with this next election, and they're going to have to figure out some things. But everything at this point has to be damage control anyway. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to make things better for Tony Breckwinkle if she's going to stay the head of the party. There's no other way, because she would be an albatross around everybody's neck if they don't clean up her name somehow. Now, how are they going to do that? See, that's politics.
But think about, they double-crossed the party chair. Think about this. If Tony Breckwinkle was a white man, there's no way what happened to her would have happened. Not like that. No way. Come on, man. 70, you like, that people was like this. You know how the matador is? It's like, here come the bull. Shoo, ole! And the bull went right through her. It is, what's up, son? Oh.
Check your email.
Oh.
The information about who's on Lori Lightfoot's team, I sent that to you.
Wow, you've become useful already. Nice.
And endorsements, Sean, I agree. The endorsements help. I was talking to Sean Howard. He said that the endorsements mostly help judicial candidates, which I agree with. It just turns them on to the shakedown pipeline, and you just send them the next one, next one, next one. In my estimation, so that's why, who is in charge of the judicial committee, right? So now that Burke, that's why the most valuable thing out of the party was the judicial committee. And who had that? Burke. Now you need to put that in the hands of somebody black. Grab that, would you, Todd? Hit that. Yep. What's up, y'all? Take a moment to share the broadcast. What up, Melody? Ms. Winston. What up, Shannon Washington? What up, Kemp? Salim Dave Brown. What up, Angela Kilpatrick? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share it. Let's go over 200, y'all. Let's pop 200 before 7 o'clock. Oh, we did. Oh, let's stay over 200 for 7 o'clock. Share the broadcast. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, sitting in my...
It'll take a minute.
It'll take a minute, you know what, because I got muscle reflex and it just says sitting in. But home again. It is my co-host, Todd Stroger. And Todd, we are asking the social media question of the day. Give us a call, y'all. To the WVON listeners, 312-374-8130. Does it make a difference to you if you get the if someone is endorsed by the Democratic Party of Cook County? See, my thing is, the whole point of the party endorsement was the power, and you knew at one point that if you got the endorsement of the party, you were pretty much assured of being elected. I knew something was wrong when Joe Barrios was not able to get his daughter reelected. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, that's something.
He's the chairman of the party. It's his daughter. You know, I would go to the end of the world for my daughter, right. And I would be like, you better get y'all, and he wasn't able to do it. And then there were actually members of the Democratic Party who conspired against his daughter and then conspired against him.
Right.
Took him out, and then Toni Preckwinkle ascended to the throne. Toni Preckwinkle ascended to the throne, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think she could have stayed perceptionally all-powerful had she not run for mayor. Perceptionally, for people looking at her, they would have assumed that she was the queen maker, kingmaker. But by running, the white guys were able to take away that veneer. And when the numbers got ran up on her the way that they did, Todd, I think that she was double-crossed by the party. I think the white guys was like, look, man, no sense in jumping on a failing train. And instead of staying in the army, which you are pledged loyal to, they jumped ship.
No doubt.
Do you think,
No, I think you're absolutely right. And it wouldn't be the first time I've seen it. A lot of people they're not going to publicly say, I'm not supporting her. They just start doing something different. You know?
But how does that work? So my thing is, what's the value, Todd? If it costs $50,000 to take the endorsement, what does it give you? Does it give the candidate, does it raise the candidate? Do you think being endorsed by the party raises the candidate's esteem to the community?
Not anymore. No, not at all. It's an insider's game when you get endorsed by the party now.
And it seems to me, Todd, that the party is deficient. And I feel like Madigan has continued to build his army. I think Burke has built his army. I think people have built their armies, and they have used the party to neutralize black folks while they did their own thing.
Right.
And now here we are, flat-footed, with a lame duck president, unless black people decide, you know what, we're going to take over. Because you know what I'm going to tell you? I feel like white folks will be like, I'm not finna be listening. Ain't no Negroes finna be telling me what to do. You know, can you imagine, really, a black dude calling up to the north side and telling Pencil Neck Paul, if you don't give me these numbers, you're fired. You know, Pencil Neck Paul gonna be like, I'm not taking that from any of these coloreds. Who do these Negroes think they are telling me what to do? Unless, again, Toni Preckwinkle puts the hammer down. See, Todd, I'm telling you now.
Well, you know, Tony was for a period, she was the queen of the progressives. And now that looks like that has been taken away from her. So where does that leave her? Because the progressives now are running the party. If you look at this transition team that Mayor-elect Lightfoot has and the special advisors to her team, does that remind you of anything else? You see anybody? Remember we were talking about Quinn and how there was no South or West Siders?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think this is?
Well, Todd, I'm gonna tell you. See, this is my thing.
So you probably know these people better than I do. There might be somebody I don't know who's
I know a couple of them, but I'm gonna tell you that black folks, they got us on a sinking ship. They got us chained to a sinking ship. And they getting off, swimming, getting lifeboats. They like, y'all hold on. Y'all hold on. Keep swimming in the ships. Now you let us give away the judges, because that's the only value left on the ship. And y'all just go down with the ship. I'm asking you, is it time for us to really reassert our black power? I'm telling you, Todd. When you look at what is happening, how many of those suburban police chiefs have committeemen that were represented, that are represented by committeemen, right? How many of those suburban police chiefs that showed up for that press conference are now officially working against the party?
Right.
Because Kim Foxx was the slated candidate of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
They're working against her right now. But they get to sit in the meetings. They get to vote. They get to sit amongst you, even as they put poison in our glasses, stab us in the back. Y'all, it's time for us to reassert our power. I'm going to ask you, is it time for us to build a blacker version of the Democratic Party for Chicago? Build an infrastructure around something that we can rely on, that when the time comes, because you know what? I was just thinking about water rec. You see how the Democratic Party allowed us to be tricked out of Tim Bradford's seat? They stole it. And they did it right in front of our eyes. So even as the black committeemen were all lined up behind Bishop Simon Gordon, the progressives in the party had another plan. They decided that they were going to steal another one of our seats. Y'all, I'm just not sure if we're in the right place. But you know what? We'll talk about it more when we come back after traffic, news, and the weather. Progressives used the Democratic Party and stole Tim Bradford's seat on the MWRD. You see how they did that? They said, y'all, let's just make it fair and make it a write-in candidacy. And then they said, let me stop. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit this morning. Todd, you got the cameras. We be getting hustled out the party. You be letting them get us, Todd. Ridiculous.
Well, I think part of the problem is that it's the same story for black people, at least in this city. I don't know about other cities. Is when we ascend to power, the rules change. The ship has already been ransacked, and they took all the important stuff and ran. So the party that Tony Prewinkle has is not the party that from the past. Even though, as I say, that ship had been ransacked a long time ago. When what was the guy from the north side?
Lions.
No, Lions. Yeah, when Lions was there, they had effectively made the party not the center of the Democratic politics. It had shifted to the mayor, you know. And before, Mayor Daley was the head of the party, the old Mayor Daley. George Dunn was the head of the party. Edward Doliak was the head of the party. And when Tom Lyons became the head of the party, they stopped meeting. I remember my dad saying that. It was like, oh, are we going to meet? And it was like, no, we're doing all right. But that's because they didn't want the party to be strong. Yeah? The mayor wanted to be the head man, but he didn't want to be the face of the Democratic Party. It was already moving away from the regular group that is, has precinct captains and all that stuff. They're moving to what I call more of a pinstripe patronage system. I remember reading an article about Governor James Thompson, many moons ago, and it was about how he had created a pinstripe patronage system for the state, where he was giving out all these contracts.
I think probably the asphalt guys were probably the leaders in that, and they would contribute to his campaign fund like 40 going north, and from there, he could run an operation across the state. So
Mayor Daley had that same kind of setup. He got tons of contributions. We just saw Mayor Emanuel, and they were talking about how many millions of dollars he has in campaign fund. I mean, he still's got all this money that he's spending on people that he likes. So the party became kind of the second wheel. When they didn't invite you first to the party, you come on, and like people are saying, the judges would need real support because nobody knows who a judge is. So any support they get is welcome. And they're crying to get on somebody's mailing.
So they don't mind spending $50,000
to get some a mailer that's going to go countywide, where they could never get that kind of publicity any other way. So we find ourselves
always being in charge of some system that's obsolete. So even though Tony Crabwickle is the chairman of the party, he doesn't have any of the power that the old chairman had, as has been dismantled for years. And the splits we've had in the party for the last couple of decades haven't helped. So now, before, I should say, maybe,
I want to say, my dad started sending me to party meetings in the late 80s. Then in the early 90s, I would go a lot.
Todd, you should go on Facebook Live so you can see the comments.
Oh, I was on Facebook Live, but I don't like to read about myself or anything, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I got one more thing.
I'm not changing. I was just turning off.
So I would go to those meetings, and you could tell it wasn't the same thing. And it's just a funny thing where then the independents were always fighting anything that the regulars did. I mean, they fought my dad when George Dunn retired. My dad talked to the independents, and I'm talking about the black folks, the Dorothy Tillmans, the Bobby Rush, the Danny Davis. He said, "I'd like to be the president." I said, "Okay, we'll support you, John." And then when it got to the floor, they supported David Orr. So, but that was the fight. Now it's just the opposite, where the progressives are running things, and they're telling the guys who've been the old stalwart type boys what's going on, and they're not.
and so there's a split. There's been a split, I guess, since it's been a split since Richard Daley died. The first,
Well, the other one has been since Richard Daley died. So the party hasn't been the same. It never, I don't think it'll ever be the same, especially because black folks are always in the corner. We're not getting the same share of the pie,
We're not right.
and we got to make it more about ourselves. I would say you cannot fight a battle if you are internally weak and fighting among yourselves. So we've got to realize we need to work together. We have to use our resources.
we have to demand more things. We should be forcing the state to do more for Chicago State. We as a people need to do more for Chicago State. That should be a research facility for us. A suggestion came to me that we even try to get money, and that would be grants from the outside also, to start like a policy institute or something like that in Chicago State. I think it would make all the sense. You need something to talk from. It would boost Chicago State, and they need that.
We gotta work. but it's got to be smart. I know everybody's got their own idea of what they want to do, but all those groups have to come together to work on a big plan, and then that makes all the other little plans feasible, because now you can support them. Oh man, 10cc. For the things we do for love, the things we do for love. Vacation is the answer. The things we do for love, like walking in the rain and the snow when there's nowhere to go, and you're feeling like a part of you is dying, and you're looking for the answer in her eyes. You think you're gonna break up, and she says she wants to make up.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. My co-host, Ty Stroger. Ty, how you feeling, man?
I love the 70s.
You love the 70s.
I do.
I love the 80s and the 90s.
I love the 80s.
Hey, y'all, let's say what's up to the WVON, rest of the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, the Wonder Twins, Miss Sonia Escobar, as well as Miss Sonia Tompkins. Y'all, you know what? I'm gonna move on in a minute, but I'm gonna take your calls because I see the phone lines are lit up. Now, the music was, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all. I don't know if there is still a value in being endorsed by the Democratic Party, the Cook County Democratic Party. Like, when I look around and I say, like, who really, you know, like, Todd, when you walk in a place and you feel comfortable and secure, you know, like when you see people and they like, you know, they got you, and you know that if they say they can get it done, they're gonna get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see very many recent examples of the party getting it done. I see examples of individuals getting it done, but I don't see the party as a collective having the ability to get it done. Like when I think like when I go to war, I want to see like a Green Beret.
Right.
Right? Like I want to see a grizzled Green Beret that's got some battle marks, couple gunshot wounds. I don't really want to see no, you know, like metrosexual pretty boy who ain't never been in battle. You do you understand what I'm saying?
I think I do.
And I feel
I'm trying to stay away from what you're saying, but I think I do.
I'm trying to wonder, when do we get, like, I want to walk in the door and know that I'm sitting across the table from somebody who has some experience, and I don't know if we've created war veterans for politics, political war veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And all the real war veterans are old and chilling. Somebody just said something that I lost the name of the commenter, but he said he had a theory on how black people vote. Black people vote and we remain loyal. White people try to pick the winner.
Right.
And we take some solace in saying we were loyal, and then we get our heads handed to us. You know, let's go to the phone line. Shauna, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. What's up?
Maze, let me just say something.
Uh-oh.
For a long time, I was mad at you. I wouldn't listen to you. And then something said, you know what? It's a new year. Stop listening to Maze, because he's talking about what's in it for the black folks. And I've been listening, and I'm enjoying your presence. So I just wanted to say that.
Really? Well, thank you. Why you stop listening to me, Shauna? What'd I do to you?
You know what? It go way back, but you know what? It don't even matter. It don't even matter. I'm home now. I'm eating the barbecue. I'm trying to invite other people to come eat the barbecue.
Thank you.
Come eat the barbecue. I called because two things. One, those chiefs yesterday, it looked like the, what was it? What was that thing in Charlottesville? The right to unite the right, alt-right party? That's
yes.
What that thing looked like. And if these black cops, if these black Cook County sheriffs, or whoever else is black that's got a uniform on, don't understand, it's time to do your own thing and get out of that mess. Because I think the National Black Patrolman even endorsed the fact that, hey, leave Camp Foxx alone. What's what you said about us being loyal, that needs to stop. We need to start thinking like that. We need to pick the winner. We need to be on the winning team, not on a losing team. And being loyal doesn't necessarily mean that you're winning. Man, hate man, you loyal, how you winning?
you win when he bring you home that package, right? You be like, I was loyal. You running around here talking about, but I gotta go to the doctor. Shauna, thank you for coming back to the barbecue. Cause everybody, I'm telling y'all, come on home. Let's go to, you know what? I got some stunners on this one. Let's go to Art. Art, you on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, young man. How are you, sir?
Good morning, old man. How are you?
All right, all right. Don't forget, give Todd that time he needs. I want to hear Todd. Let me just ask this question. You, Todd, and you got Mark Wallace, and you got Kim, and you got Matt McGill, and all of you all are highly intelligent people. And I hear you always talking about that we need to put something together. We need to. Why haven't you got the talented people. Why haven't you put together? You all seem to have great integrity, and we can hold you truly accountable because you know, being in the public, you don't do what you're supposed to do. You washed up. So I'm not sure. Yeah, we keep saying what we need to do, but you have the people that's capable of doing it, and Mark has an infrastructure, getting the 10-10 together. I mean, you really have to explain, and you say what is in for the black people. You two have to explain, especially you, Mays, why haven't you said, you know what? Mark has an infrastructure together. We need to all join up because you keep talking about.
Okay, let me stop you real quick, Art. Let me tell you something. So there's a couple things. So first of all, we did start an organization. It is called What's in It for the Black People. It is a political action committee as well as it is a business. It is a for-profit business. Then we have also linked up. So 10 by 10 and What's in It for the Black People have linked up, and we are working together. And actually our first joint meeting was held last month. Our next one is this coming Tuesday. And so
you heard that though.
You must have missed it. I was just talking about a few minutes ago. Like, come on to the meeting on Tuesday. So, all right, you know what? You come out Tuesday, 2907 South Wabash, and we want to see you too, because we can use your God blessings too. All right, that is my man. Art, I took your God. You got to say, "M.A. God bless," because that's your tagline. Go ahead. Art,
He gone.
you gone. You forgot to say, "M.A. God bless." What is going on? Okay, I knew something was happening because all the women started licking the glass. All the women started licking the glass, and the plane started catching turbulence. Oh, Lord, this must be it. I see it. It is Big Otis Wilson in the building. What's up, Big O?
Good morning, Big O.
Good morning. Well, I was licking the glass this morning.
You was licking the glass. All right. Well, look, y'all. It is the WVON Morning Show. Big Otis Wilson in the building. Otis, what's up, man? How you feeling today?
I feel great. It's how we say
it's a new day.
A new day is dawned, and we're trying to figure this thing out here.
We're trying to figure this thing out and see what's going on. Did you make it over to the Unity Breakfast, my man? over to Push?
Yes, I did.
All right, and I hope they acknowledged that Big O was in the building.
Well, they said more so go back out and play. Play football than they did. What you doing here?
Hey, you know what? That's because, man, you are a Chicago legend, and the fact of the matter is, bro, nobody is ever going to. I mean, you brought us some of our greatest memories here in Chicago. True. And so by doing that, and so people are never going to let that go. But you know what?
I want you to know that I've been doing some sit-ups and push-ups, and I'm ready for that cage match with but it's got to be pay-per-view.
It will have to be pay-per-view. I would pay for that too.
Hey,
look, I wish y'all could see Big O looking at Todd like, dog, are you really? He like, are you serious?
You've been doing more sitting than pulling up.
Oh yeah, Big O is in the building. All right, y'all. Well, look, y'all, we got a great show. Big O is in the building. I got phone calls. Ladies, stop blowing kisses. Let's focus. Get on your job. I am the star of the WVON Morning Show. Hey, we'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show.
Okay, guys, hold on. I want to reset you guys so that I got y'all in the camera. No, I just want you to. I'm gonna tell y'all where to move in 1 second. All right.
Oh, good. You?
Man,
Okay,
fine, thank
big
you.
old move this way. Okay? Perfect. Now, if y'all can stay somewhere close to that, then we got the cameras set.
If you don't mind me being that close.
Man,
Hey, you want to use these?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Man, you-
instead of cross-
look, Sonya, look at Sonya. Okay, do y'all see Sonya?
We won't cross over
100.
100. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 100.
That one.
Y'all are
What, do you
crazy.
accept debit?
Look, they're like debit cards. All right.
You sure?
Yeah, no, cause this way I was
Right.
crossing
Okay, I see what
over
you're
you.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm cool.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I got both of y'all on the camera. Shot.
Yeah, I was trying to flank you
Big
down.
old scoot that way.
Flank you down
You-
Wednesday.
You was trying to what me down?
Flank you down. You came down Wabash.
Uh-huh.
About 3:15. I was picking up my granddaughter.
Did you say something out
I
loud?
was like, yo, but you were driving in your car. You was going.
Oh,
you,
no.
You was going south. So I know how people don't pay attention to nobody on the street.
Right.
How old's your granddaughter?
She's 7.
Uh-oh, we just
lost
lost.
St. Mary's.
Oh, really?
Big
That's
up.
where my children graduated. Oh,
Yeah.
St. Mary's.
Okay. Yeah. She's a student over there. This is a second year.
Oh, cool. My daughter just graduated from Old St. Mary's.
Yeah, I like the school. They're pretty good.
I go play basketball on Sunday.
It's expensive over there,
It is.
but it's worth it.
I think it was.
Yes, indeed. What do you think about this past, I would say, thrashing?
Man, it was like a Bears playoff game against the Giants.
Okay? Or New England, or
Yeah, right,
the
it was
Rams, or
awful.
either one.
Yeah.
All three rolled in one.
Yes.
How do you not win
She not one ward.
yeah, how do you not win one more? But that just shows you what really people think about her. I mean,
Yeah, you know, I always say the tie-in to Burke really destroyed her. Because everyone wants this kind of new, we don't want any old things anymore.
well, not only that, too, she really hadn't done nothing for nobody. She kept
That's the
screaming.
talk.
She kept screaming that she's, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I'm that. Well, come on, what have you really done? You know, then you're going to be arrogant about the whole thing?
I say she can have a George Wallace moment, but she gotta actually, you know, have it.
So I'll tell you what.
Change.
She called me yesterday.
What?
Well, I talked to Lori's people, and they said they've already reached out to the people over here, man.
Yeah, they coming on. She coming on today. I want it on my show.
That's what I said. I said, no, we need you on.
They coming to.
Well, forgive me for what I was saying. I said, I want you on my show.
Yeah, you supposed to
Man
say that.
show.
This is your show.
Yeah.
I said, I'm co-hosting with my guy. Come on out.
This is your
they
show.
said they're going to work it out.
Well,
So
Some kind
we'll
of fear
see.
about you, Maze. Remember we were at Push? She just kind of like walked by the table, didn't even.
oh, I kind of thought I did it to her though.
You know, I noticed that too, because when I walked up to her and shook her hand and was kind of like talking to her, she had that little demeanor. You know,
That's what you're about?
well, yeah, she want to be the alpha male. She want to be the dog.
Right.
I'm like, no, you can't be the dog where I go. You know, I'm gonna straighten that out right now.
Yeah.
She like,
That's funny.
but man, but Tony looked like a dead headlights at that event.
I mean, you
Yeah.
got it.
She did not want to be there at all.
Would you, if you woke up to that,
Yeah, she-
it's like,
she did not
I'm
want to
telling
be
you,
there
if
at
I
all.
was her, I would fire everybody on my staff.
I did fire myself. If you could do that.
Just gotta change some. People change.
Yeah, you're right. People have
She
changed.
needs to be
you know.
like the phoenix. She just got burned. You need to transform into a new bird
Yeah. See, you can change.
if you want.
Yes. Yeah, just take
Uh oh. It's a karate song,
Kung
man.
Fu fighting. Remember?
Close that door, would you?
Those cats were fast as lightning. It was a little bit frightening.
Those kicks are fast as lightning.
Expert timing. On Funky Chinatown. They were chopping men up. They were chopping them down. It's ancient Chinese art. Everybody knew that part.
Big O, you gotta scoot in just a little bit. Okay, cool. You can move over a little bit outside if you want to. You can move over a little bit. Yeah, you good.
Those cats were fast as lightning. It was a little bit frightening. Expert timing. Here comes the big boss. Huh! Let's get it on. With his hands.
What's Kung Fu Fighting? You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in is Big Otis Wilson. You know, he gets the Big
I
O.
already told, I don't know karate, but I know crazy.
You know, crazy. You know what? Well, I'm going to tell you, you're going to need more than karate, crazy, and all of that. Because Big O just got the, y'all missed it. Big O was like, so Big O, you told us you met the new mayor, Lori Lightfoot. Now, let me just be clear, y'all. Lori Lightfoot will be here today on the Perry Small Show. She is coming in today, her first post-election appearance on WVON. She will be here at 9, well, I don't know if it's at 9 o'clock, but tune in to Perry Small at 9 o'clock immediately following. She will be on, and the Perry Small Show is hosted by Cliff Kelly, though.
That's right.
So Cliff Cliff getting all the mayoral, because he had Willie Wilson in here yesterday, and then
Well, you know, Cliff's an old guy, so.
you know, Cliff the
He's
OG.
harmless.
Right. Oh. So let me tell you. See, Big O, you coming in.
I don't think Cliff feels harmless.
you know what, Todd, you stay where you at. Big O just take a half a scoot to the.
But I did, you know, because I went over to Push, you know, the other day and did ask one of her handlers over there to come on the show.
Right.
And he said, well, we reached out, and so I didn't know he reached out to Cliff, but I said, no, you got to come on.
Come on, you said the Big O show. See, the Big O, you know what, it turns into the Big O show when you get here, because all the women be like, hey. Right, you be taking all the oxygen. Ain't no room for the brothers to start looking at their biceps like, this some bull. This is some bull crap right here. All right, but you know what, y'all, I wanted to point out something. So let me just run through a few of these names real quick, because I want to talk about Lori Lightfoot's inner circle real quick. The inner circle, in my estimation, seems to be a return to the green team in black. And when I say that, what I mean is that a lot of the names that I am seeing brought into this are connected back to the Daley administration and connected through, and that stayed connected through the Emanuel administration,
right,
and then have now resurfaced as part of the Lightfoot administration. And so what I'm wondering is, and I don't want to be in trouble because I don't want to start no problems, but is this like a Jane Byrne deal? Like, is this like one of those deals? Is this like one of those deals where kind of everybody was been laying in wait for a long time and they like, here's our path. 4 years in, you got the worst budget ever. It's going to be council wars like a mad mug. And then we got our girl there. Now, you know, I think that there is a connect to, when we talk about these old school law firms that are like the Big Willie, big, and you know, I was wondering, like, when Mayor-elect Lightfoot would be coming to work at the city, was she coming from one of that law firm, coming to fix it and then going back? Was any of that billable? You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, like, well, no, but you know, you think about this. The reason that you give, like, I used to see people do this all the time. They would, like, when I worked at, say, for instance, when I was working over at that lobbying firm, working with the lobbying firm, what they would do is take people from their staff and send them to go work in an office, build up all the relationships, leave that office and come back, and then go get all the contracts.
Right.
So now I'm seeing that same thing when I look at this list. So the first thing I want to know, and I said this on Foxx, was who does Lori Lightfoot have on the team that we know from the black community? I'm gonna say we know we could trust Dr. Wilson. She's got Reverend Ira Ackery. I don't know. He's not. See, this is my thing though, because all the black.
Those aren't politicians.
Right, but
politically savvy, connected. I mean, you know, they know politicians, but they've never been in the workings of it.
And so when I look at the list, and you know, this is because I'm not talking about the ceremonial transition team. You know how you get put on a committee to figure out crime on the West Side.
Right.
You on the transition team to figure that out. You are on the transition team to figure sports. When I look at this list, Chief of Staff Maurice Classen. Now, they worked together at the police department, right? Do we know him? I know he was on the police.
I don't know, but
he was on the police board.
He has a resume.
No shade. I'm just saying where he come from.
Right.
Then you go to Manny Perez. He's going to be over intergovernmental affairs. Now, y'all know intergovernmental affairs is where all the jobs and the contracts, you got to go through that to get anything done. Right? Manny Perez comes from who? Chuy Garcia. Lisa Scheider Fabos, I don't know her. But I think she goes back to the Emanuel administration. And then when you look at Sarah Pang, she went to Daley and Rahm's administration. Throw in Bob Ryder from the Chicago Federation of Labor. And y'all, the green team is back. We also saw Lori Lightfoot make mention of the Jussie Smollett case, causing me to question, is she going to join in, as people have said, on the tag team of Kim Foxx? Y'all, it's why I tell you, you gotta look deeper. Deeper. Go deeper into the ocean. Because, y'all, this stuff is insidious. These people be planning 10, 15 years out. And so all I'm just saying is, Lori Lightfoot, beware. Don't be the Jane Byrne of the new century. Remember, everybody was excited about Jane Byrne, and she was the new coming, and then all of a sudden she made a deal with the devil, and the next thing you knew, Jane Byrne was 4 years on her way out.
Living in Cabrini Green.
Living in Cabrini Green. And now you see how that works. You think she got any of that now? Look, y'all, we'll talk about it all when we come back. Plus, are we going to be talking to Kathy Cohen? I'm not sure, but if not, we can continue this conversation. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
This news report is brought
Let
to you
me
by
ask you guys this. Y'all know a little better than I do.
So whether you're heading to work in the morning,
Why is it that we don't groom
after a
somebody?
night out on the town.
We know all the
Y'all are in perfect position.
we know all the nuances of what the lay of the land. We know where everything's at. Why is it we don't start, why do we have to wait till a tragedy happens before we want to, number one, go out and band together, as opposed to, okay, we need to get certain people that have interest in these areas, and we need to bring them along.
You remember what Eddie Murphy said at the end of Coming to America? Ha-ha!
Aha!
Yeah.
Aha!
I mean, that's the question, and why hasn't it been, I mean, it's obvious. Why haven't we done that? I mean, I'm not in the position to really do that because I'm not, I don't have any position anymore.
You just read these people's names out. I'm quite sure there's not a whole lot of us.
So Maurice,
up there in those areas.
It's two. Maurice is black, and so is Rod Joy. Rod Joy is the kid whose son got killed, and he was Lieutenant. What's that?
Yeah, Tiara just sent me an email and said she won't be able to come on Kathy.
At all, period? Okay, that's fine. So we can stay here. So let me say a couple things. The first...
But remember, Rod Joy worked for Jan Schakowsky. And let me tell you, from my feelings of Jan Schakowsky is one of those ultra-liberals who ain't really happy with black men in power. Unless they come from the north side or High Park.
They don't have none around her.
No.
So, and he was Kennedy's running mate, back to the green team. But
that's those ultra liberal groups again. That's
right.
all.
So here's my here's the thing. There was a pipeline, and there were people being groomed. We killed those. So I'll give you the example of 27 and 8, right? And I'll give you the example of the Young Democrats that when I came into the Young Democrats, I really didn't want to be a Young Democrat. But my mentor, political mentor, Alderman Burnett, was like, I want you to be a Young Democrat. If you go to the Young Democrat reunions of when him, Todd, Marlowe, all of them were there, bro, you go through that, they are all through city government and state government. They're either elected officials, they're the top lobbyists, they're the top running agencies, etc. And when you were a Young Democrat, you learned you had to get the coffee, you had to do all the stuff, but it was a progression.
Right, which you need everything. Every rookie got to go through that.
Well,
Right.
then,
Your 8 o'clock is here.
Jamie, okay, good. So then when that happened, when the black people were still running the party, or like when John Stroger was there, Young Democrats, because they were all Young Democrats, they felt something for them. Like Alderman Burnett loves Young Democrats because he was like, that's where he learned. When I learned, it was being a Young Democrat, traveling all over the country, seeing other people, and then being able to come back and put that to practice. And it was like having a mini government that we did, but we couldn't go outside of the lines, right? And then when you wanted to run, you had already worked on every campaign, so you knew how to use and do. And then the people that worked on campaigns came and joined your campaign and used everything that they learned working on everybody else's. Well, now we got a bunch of, so then the independents took over. And then they started letting young people, there was no training program. They just said, oh, you're smart, so we're going to let you run the fucking party. And now you got all these people that are executive directors and all this shit at the party, but ain't never had no experience, ain't never ran a campaign, ain't never had to be in a fight. So when Tony Preckwinkle got her ass whooped, there was nobody for them to call. Right? So I'm watching. So when I see Young Democrats taking national training from the DNC, and I'm like, fucker, the DNC used to come here to learn how to win an election. When we used to show up at the DNC Young Democrat joints across the country, let me tell you, they'd be like, y'all from Chicago? Like when you have people like, so think about it, they skipped over a whole generation. So now the Mays Jacksons, the Chris Andersons, the Johnny and Asia Kearneys, the Carrie Steels. Carrie took it and moved on. But all of us got caught up because then when the Strogers left, then there was kind of a new ascension of, like, the Young Democrats dropped down. And it wasn't, and so then they became this independent freaking organization. Like I had a big fight this summer with a Young Democrat telling me we raise our own money, we support the candidates that we want to support. I'm like, where the fuck do they do that at? Right. Like who the fuck are, what, like you're right? And and it's like we had an argument to the point where I was angry because I was just saying like this is, and the outcome of it is we are 100% reliant on white folks because all the black people that know politics have been forced out because ain't nobody listening to no motherfucker who ain't never did shit. Like so you walking around because Tony Preckwinkle made you the executive director, or she made you some of this or some of that, and you happy to be running around. And we saying, so like, you think I'm coming under you? But they get to be at the meetings, they pass out the papers, they get to do all the stuff, and so when it's easy to do, it's like you know how on they do it on NBA, and it's like the players only. When dude be like, we ain't trying to hear no announcers talk about it because you ain't Kevin Garnett, you ain't never played, so you can't even talk about this, right? So it's like these people that are drawing up plays that ain't never touched the field, ain't never played, but they telling you after you been to war, you done been in the thick of it, and they
tell me how to run my position.
Right. I've been playing this game for
Give me
20
your
years.
gun and get out my foxhole.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, and so when you say that, and so when something like this happens, and it's not all on the young Democrats, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is we killed our pipeline. Madigan keeps feeding his pipeline because he keeps it self-contained.
Yeah.
Tony Preckwinkle kicked all the people that could win out and took in a whole bunch. She took Elvis the white boy. She took all these liberal Minnesota white boys that brought her space and couldn't bring her to the neighborhood. Then she went and picked this damn diverse ass staff of mugs who can't get nobody black to do nothing. If the people on the team can't call you and say they don't have no relationships except with a whole new group of people who ain't never did shit either.
Right.
That's what happened to our pipeline. See? Get out of here with that mess. And then they make being a young Democrat uncool in the millennial world. So then the only people that take it, the cool people don't want to be young Democrats. The people that you need to be young Democrats don't want to be it because they like, I ain't got to be a lame. I'm not being with them lames. It used to be, you used to be the bomb when you was a young Democrat. Now it's like, we be like, right. It was like you
were leading up to something.
Yes. Now it's like you was giving it, and it's like you don't value what we got. It's like people who don't pledge.
Well,
that's what happened.
Like today's society.
Yep.
They don't want to work for nothing.
Then why not the boss now?
You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Sitting there with me is Todd Stroger. He's not sitting there. He is here to stay. Plus Big Otis Wilson. Big O. Yeah, look, so my question is with Lori Lightfoot, who will be here with Cliff Kelly today, who do we know off this staff, and what are our expectations? So here's the names. Maurice Clausen. He's going to be the chief of staff of the transition. Manny Perez. We know he comes from Chuy Garcia. Rod Joy. Todd, you pointed out that he's black. I said he came from the Kennedy campaign, but you said he came from Jan Schakowsky. Now, you remember the last time Jan Schakowsky was on this show, she was telling us why black people needed to be worried about immigration reform and the border before we worried about black issues. Oh, Big O, why you make that face?
Don't worry about black on the border. We already over here.
Right. What's that?
We ain't trying to, nobody gonna throw us back over the fence.
Right.
What the hell we worried about the border for?
Right. That's what I keep trying to say. But
Okay.
Don't let agency y'all get me in trouble again.
I'm gonna give her a little respect. She old.
All right. Then you got Lisa Schreiber Fabes, who was from the Emanuel administration. You got Sarah Pang, who was from the Daley and the Emanuel administration. And then Bob Ryder, who is the head of the Chicago Federation of Labor. So in my estimation, they done put the team back together.
Yes.
To me, it's just the team is back together. Get in where you fit in. Now they done changed the roles, but I think the team is back together. And my question
that's why so many people were older black people were pushing Franklin, because we could see that we were not part of the mix in any fashion.
But the challenge is, Todd, that before 2 weeks ago with Preckwinkle, we wasn't even in the mix. And I think it was a hard sell in 2 weeks. I mean, but so there's two ways to think about that. If I know you're going to screw me, then I'm going to take my chances and see if I can beat the other person. Because if you already, right?
Or.
Go ahead. Give me the or.
You said there were two, so. Yeah, so.
Or you hope that she's going to change.
You hope that she notices that since you put your weight behind her, that she won, that now she has to actually pay attention to you.
Yes. And we always hope for that. And I think it doesn't very often work out that way. It'd be like, thanks for your help. I'm back over
for a long time.
Right. Think about you know what? Because I keep telling y'all, when I saw that in the paper and the white people was like, well, she can still come back and reclaim her progressive roots. And my thing was, y'all just played her and then she gonna come back and give y'all the county for the rest of it. So can I tell y'all something? Let me tell y'all something though. Y'all gonna get mad at me again, but I think maybe Madam Preckwinkle has learned a little bit of something. Why? You know what? You know who called me yesterday? Tony Preckwinkle. Called me.
How did that conversation go?
Well, I thought it went very well.
Okay.
She said thank you for the opportunity to speak to your audience. She acknowledged how important the WVON morning show audience is, and also committed to coming back monthly. Check this out. This was not me asking. Coming back monthly.
You suggested maybe quarterly.
Right.
So,
to
yeah.
come back and start to rebuild that rapport. And my thing is this, y'all. It's like everybody has they Saul of Tarsus moment where they go from Saul to Paul. A lot of people don't get their white folks lesson. She didn't get her white folks lesson till late in life. But I'm going to say that we cannot, if we allow them to beat her down, they're going to beat Kim down. And we got to protect Kim.
Right,
and
it's going to keep on rolling. Like, hey, we got this thing.
We got this thing. There's a rolling thing. So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, and then I'm going to let Sister Zakiya curse me out. But I'm going to say, now that she has, I'm not saying it's all good. I'm saying that we did the job that we sent the message we needed to send. She only won 20 precincts in the whole city. Now, not one ward. Right? So that's a wake-up call. That's a lesson. That's you better get with the people who gonna get with you, because the white folks was gone. Gone. And I'm gonna tell you,
the lights out, the party's over.
The party was over, and they was already, remember, we was trying to stay loyal. That's what happened, just like old boy said. The black people tried to stay loyal, and the white folks picked the winner. And so now as we look at how the pie is gonna be cut, the white folks that picked the winner and even the black folks that picked the winner are in the transition team. But let me just point out something that I noticed. You know who I thought should have been in the transition team?
Who?
Willie Wilson. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you would think.
No, I'm saying, like, but see, you got to present Willie Wilson now to the white folks. See? See? And, you know, it ain't always...
Did he want to be, do you think?
Did he put a representative of his on that end if he didn't? Because here's the thing.
Why isn't Richard Boykins there? Who I would think would be the,
the logical. Right. Yeah. I'm saying, so, guys, that's something that we need to be asking. I hope Cliff finds out who is the black people that we know.
Right, exactly.
Like, who, I said this on the TV. Who are the black people that we know that we can trust, that can talk to the new mayor? I feel you. See, the white folks can't be picking the black people. You got that? The white folks don't get to pick the people for the black folks. And so, dear Maurice, dear Rob, dear whoever the hell y'all talking to, we are not accepting anybody that y'all just pick and give to us. White folks don't get to pick who represent black people. Period, point blank. Let me go to Sister Zakiya because she finna jump on me. I'm sorry, Sister Zakiya, but I got to open the doors to the barbecue back up because we can't let them cook Kim. What's going on, sis?
Going to do that to you because I know women have a way of making brothers feel like they need to buckle down. I mean, we're real good at that. There's something wrong, you know. But that's just y'all's nature. You understand? But let me just tell you, I'm not going to cuss you out.
Okay.
And when you asked me the next day after the election, did I do a praise dance when Tony lost? No, I didn't. I went spiritual. I went spiritual because I was always taught what goes around comes around, and you're going to reap what you sow. And so I just looked at Tony and the work she had done against her people and how she had worked in the interest of white people, and now it came back to haunt her. So I wasn't so much happy as I was looking at how things go according to the scriptures and what the old people have taught us. Now, if you want to invite her to the barbecue, that's fine with me, but I'll be on the other side with the folks that ain't eating barbecue because I don't eat meat no way.
We got some barbecue vegetables too. You better stop it. We'll put some asparagus on that grill and pass it around. You better cut it out. The black family is everybody eating.
Well, that's okay. But let me tell you, the Democratic Party, for the most part, that's what I wanted to comment on. They never slate black candidates anyway. They black candidates that grassroots people prefer. They slate black candidates that they can control, and they've never been our friend as far as I'm concerned. So endorsements from the Democratic Party don't mean much now because people are becoming politically astute. They got their eyes open. Even endorsements from so-called popular people. You look at Tony Preckwinkle's election. Those so-called popular people that were tooting Tony Preckwinkle's horn, it didn't mean a damn thing. Because anyway, their popularity has faded away anyway. So nobody they don't have no influence.
Give me a close.
Listen, white folks with money, these people you giving money to toot the horns of people we don't want, they don't have no influence, white people. Stop giving them money. We ain't listening to them.
I so wholeheartedly agree. Thank you, Sister Zakia. We need to tell them that because the white folks be like, aha, I think I got it. And can I tell y'all what? The preacher...
Yeah, but Mason,
go ahead.
You know, white people don't give black people money in any real numbers. Even when people like the mayor supports aldermen, specific aldermen, those aren't, as you know, white campaign people who are, black campaign people who are helping the black elected officials. It's him giving it to some white groups.
It gives them to some white groups that tells the black people how they gonna win. Look, it's Talk Chicago. We'll be back after traffic and weather. Hey, y'all, I'm excited, though. We got the Aviation, the Commissioner of Aviation in the building. $8.5 billion. $8.5 billion. We're gonna talk about what's in it for the black people. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson.
Okay, let me tell y'all. So stop. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna stop doing.
Aviation is like his own city.
Yes. So, so I got these crazy text messages, and I feel like nobody wants to hear the truth. Like the party has been fucked up forever. And it's like, leave it open, please. And what they do is they empower the fucked upness of it. They do. Excuse my language, but they do. And it's like, I think when you can't, 20 precincts, y'all, 20 precincts, 20 in the whole city, 2,069, and it's only 20 precincts that you won, you are a flop. Everybody in that joint should be fired. Everybody. There should be nobody that works at the Democratic Party right now that should have a job. No, there should not be. What have y'all done over the last 4 to 8 years since you had it? What have you built? Right? This is what happens when you put people who say they are anti the machine get in charge of the machine.
Right.
Then they pretended. You know what the party reminds me of? Banging in Little Rock. Like, banging in Little Rock. You know how you go to these small towns and they act extra gangster? They think because they trying to mimic what the city is and it wasn't like that. That's what you got with these people at the party right now. All these people walking around peacocking, being powerful because they ain't never had no fight. You tough. You got the best robe. You come out. But then you come. Then remember when Mike Tyson used to walk to the ring and all he had on was that towel? Remember, like he didn't even have on no damn socks. That fool would come to the ring like. Kevin Rooney be like 362, boom, boom, boom. You out, right? You got all these people pretty Tonian around the party. They got papers. They can stand there and look like staff like it's TV. But then when it's time to go get your ass on the field, you don't want to come out the office.
They don't have a clue.
Right.
They don't have a clue. Oh my God.
Pretty Tony.
No.
You never asked me, do I need no damn water?
No, thank you.
Water.
I'll take some.
So I'm going downstairs. I want y'all to let me get to work.
What time is it? What's going on?
You going to the machine?
No, I'm going downstairs. Go ahead, dog. Look, it's not the right hand this money.
All right, baby. Got to have water. Got to have water.
Yeah, you're right. How many times a week do you work out?
Oh, at least 4 or 5 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
4 or 5 times, yeah. I work a body part each day.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And then I get about 40 minutes of cardio. Then I stretch and pretty much do everything that I've done all my life.
All your life.
Just, you know, as older as you get, because the older we get, the more you have to do.
No, I noticed.
The stiffer you get,
I am getting stiff.
the muscle. Like, you know, when you're young,
Turn my life around.
then it starts turning rubber. The older you get, so
Yes,
you gotta do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I'll turn my right around.
Then you really pay attention to your eating, your intake.
Yes, I still like
Don't leave you
You
lonely.
nourish yourself because it takes more.
I like pasta.
Nothing wrong with carbs. Nothing wrong with carbs.
Give me
If you work.
a
Exactly.
Y'all,
So let me ask you this though.
Todd.
So this team that's in place, you don't think
Right.
as she go on that she
Hold
can
on.
bring some folks to the table?
Say again.
You don't think as she
Say that. We're
leads
gonna
the
ask
team?
it. You can do this.
Right.
Yeah, good question.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I ain't heard my girl in a long time.
Turn my right around. You don't know about that?
Oh yeah. Give me a reason. Oh yeah, give me that reason, y'all.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Y'all got my man Ty Stroger in the building, plus Big Otis Wilson.
Because it makes me too sad, but that's cool.
You know what? That's that Tracy Chapman. Y'all,
Stacey, where is she at now? What is she? Is she still singing?
you know she probably still
I think she
singing.
is. I think I remember something recently, like when I say recently, the last 3 years.
Oh,
I'm. You know what?
She got a great voice.
You know what? I feel bad because I remember when she first came out, I used to make fun of her, but I was young and immature. But man, when I got to listening to that music,
She said,
woo, 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 let me tell you,
Turn it back around.
turn it back around. Turn it back around. Look back at it. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, it's the WVON Morning Show. Big O, but you was asking a question.
My thing is this, and it's in reference to putting her team together. Because you
Her, Lori Lightfoot's team?
Lori Lightfoot's putting her team together.
Okay.
You're only as good as your team.
Right.
And what I'm hearing is some of these are the old, from old administrations, you know, folks that we don't know, folks
Right.
that's not from our neighborhood. But I want to give her a chance to, you know, get your feet wet, figure out what you need and what you don't need, and then put a solid team together. So I'm just saying there's hope.
Okay, I'm not giving up hope. I'm not giving up
There is
hope.
hope.
But you know what I want to see? Like, there are signals, and I want to see some more signals.
Right.
I want a sense of knowing that there's somebody that we can reach out and touch with so many issues that are impacting the black community. Who I don't see nobody on that list right now. And that's the first list. Now, right now, somebody is listening being like, somebody probably said, did you call Dr. Wilson? Maybe we should have put him in the press release.
Right.
Right? Like, really. Because I'm going to tell you, Madam Mayor-elect, whether you believe it or not, Willie Wilson was very influential. Now, I see a lot of people running up, doing and jumping, and they behind the camera shot. I ain't see their names on the press release either. But we know that Willie Wilson has worked to be an honest broker in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you want to start building those relationships, Maurice, hey man, we got to see some people we know, man. Ain't no free. Y'all don't get to pick the black people. Black people need to know the black people we know that we can trust. All right? Let me go to the phone lines. Let's go to the real Mike. That's right. Real Mike O'Connor. Mike, you hung up on me, dog. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Brother Ball. Brother Ball, we not going to be lollipops, are we?
Man, it's Friday. It's Friday. What say you? Maze. I saw
a rendition. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. The breakdown of Lori Lightfoot and Tony Preckwinkle. I think April 1st, I saw it, and they went through, you know, Tony's background. And I was talking to older people, all my elders, and they were so Tony crazy, and I couldn't understand why. Maze, what you just said was heartbreaking to Tony Preckwinkle, and it was heartbreaking to see that R. Kelly had to finally come to the Dayton game and finally go to all the hood lounges where his people been listening to him for years because the white people finally ran him out. They stopped letting his music get played. They ran him out. They let their case get built on him. Where was R. Kelly popping up at? 75th and Vincennes, right over here on 75th Street. Then he went over to the Dayton game. He ain't popped up in these places before he got famous. See, when you get your, what Paul Mooney say, the wake-up call is what everybody needs, even the lower level people. But Tony used to ride the 6th and Jeffrey bus. This is what some people said on her documentary. It's rough when you go from getting that CTA pass and you get that limousine driver. No lollipops, Maze. Love y'all.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, she got back on the bus. They put up back.
Tell me what you really mean.
Let's go to Rick. Rick, you're on the Talk of Chicago, 1690. You got the last call.
One thing we learned from history is that we learn very little from history. To paraphrase that quote, Harold let everybody come back to the party. And at the first opportunity, they ran back to the reservation. The ward bosses, even soldiers, these people, what you got to do, you got to hold their feet to the fire. Money talks, you know what talks. These aldermen and these people that narrowly escaped this time, they got to bring home the bacon. They got to show us the money. Then we let them at the party. They got to bring this potluck. They got to bring some food to the picnic.
Rick, I'm with you. You got to bring, and you know what? They got to bring the meat. Tony Preckwinkle got to bring the meat on back. Like we ain't taking we don't want rib tips. I want slabs. She got to come with the slabs, big O, because she trying to come back. We hungry. Look, it's a lot of white folks over there still eating. Yeah. They playing in the game, so they over there they went to Lori, but they like, hey, Tony. Right? You know, they did the family split. I'm still trying to understand how the boss of the family get to go one way and the son go the other way, and they get to keep them millions of dollars of jobs and contracts.
That's how they do. They plant one in one area, and they put the other in the other area while they overseeing all 3 areas. They've been doing it for a long time. That's how they play the game.
See how they play us? Hey, you know what?
We never get a chance to go to the game.
Hey, man, we going to the game. Let me tell you what. See, that's why we got Tony Preckwinkle got to put on a helmet. She got to go run football. She got to run the football. You know what?
Well,
she got to run the
defense sitting there waiting right now.
She got to go to the gauntlet, bro. She got to play Bulls in the Ring. That's what she got to do. Okay. Bulls in the Ring. You know what? I sure would have hated if they called. And I'd be like, and it'd be just my luck. They'll call my number and say, Maze, you got Big O. Oh, damn. It's the Talk of Chicago, 1690. Hey, y'all, when we come back, $8.5 billion at the airport, and Jamie Reed, Airport Aviation Commissioner, she's here to tell us who already got some of the money, how we gonna get some, and what's in it for the black people. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Chicago, and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON, Chicago.
So I think we're gonna switch our mode to 1, 2, 3. No, you say that. We'll just let's put Todd. You go out. Let's put Jamie in the middle. Then we'll just move everything here, and y'all stay right there. Just flip over there. Todd, put yours. No, you stay here. Y'all stay. Y'all gonna probably stay a little bit tight. Give me just one more reason. Jamie Reed.
Jimmy?
Just wear your hats for Jimmy.
But being remorseful, is she really gonna change her ways?
I think this, Big O. I think that she needs. This is probably her last run.
Right, here we are.
And so understanding this is her last run. What up, what up, what up? So just so y'all know, like y'all get to stand in the studio. Y'all don't get to come in here. You can come in and set up, but y'all know it's she in here by us. You know I don't do the handlers. Hello. Hello, hello. No, leave it open, leave it open. Y'all want to do anything before? You need any You good? You sure? You all good? She safe?
We all good.
Can I take a couple pictures?
You can take pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take pictures. You good until the show starts.
Okay.
Once the show starts, yeah.
Starts and we on the. All right.
All right, y'all, come in, Todd.
Come this way.
Yep.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, you get close to the big O.
Oh, you bet.
All right, so y'all, this is Miss Jamie Ree. Jamie was the head of procurement services before. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let her tell you about herself a little bit later. You know, so Jamie, you know we are on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. There's probably about 200, a little bit under 200 people watching now. Plus, we're on air. The cameras never go off. The cameras never go off.
Right. So
even when we go to the breaks, all right? Y'all, we got, look. Y'all know how long I've been trying to get this interview? Look, man. Oh, hold on. Let me show y'all something. Let me tell you. Right, look. And then right there in the corner, that's G-Ball right there. That's George Coleman.
Right
Now, you got to know. So, let me tell y'all. You know how I do, right? So, you know, I always say like this, right? While I recognize that there are bosses and all that good stuff, the main reason that I am concerned, first people I concern myself with are the black people. So, let me just tell you that George has been, me and George go way, 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 way back to, I think, the Daley administration. And George has been effective in helping to create opportunities for black folks through procurement services as well as through aviation now. And so when he called, you know I like to. However, one of the things I also like to do is make sure that we acknowledge people when they are doing the right thing or going above and beyond. You know what? Every time I talk about what's in it for the black people, Mark Allen calls me up and says, Mays, do you hear my voice? Mays, hear my voice. Do you understand Jamie Ree has come to my office? She has presented at Black Wall Street, and I can't get nobody to come fill out the paperwork. They have put projects and programs in place, and what we got to do, y'all, is figure out how do we access them. $8.5 billion. I know plenty of black people that are doing well at the airport, but I'm not sure it's a story that we know. So a part of that is I want to make sure that we tell that story, but additionally, we want to make sure that there are additional opportunities, because with $8.5 billion, I'm sure that there are, we got to look beyond just jobs. We got to look at jobs, we got to look at contracts, we got to look at short, medium, and long range. But the way we do that is we get to talk to people. So sometimes instead of, she in the lion's den now, because you know I got questions. I got questions. You know I ain't going to never change. But $8.5 billion, we going to talk about it. We got it all. Look, now I'm going to tell y'all. See, look over there. See, they got the peoples, right? So I'm going to tell y'all. Everybody says, Mays is crazy. Stay away from that Mays Jackson. He like, look, man, do right by the peoples, and I'm going to do right by the peoples. You don't do right by the peoples, then I'm going to be all in your joints. So that's what we're doing today. Big O, we need us a restaurant out at the airport, man. Look, I'm saying we could do Big O and Mazes, right? Let's do Big O and Mazes and then get a side of Tide. Look, I'm telling you, we can get it all good. Look, we'll be straight. I'm telling you.
We call the 46 defense restaurant.
Oh, the 46. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Look, this is what we do.
We know the food is good.
Right, we know the food good. Look, then Big O do a pic. The food, and if it don't, Big O will. Right? All right. So Jamie, you good?
Sir, yes, sir.
All right. Ooh, not that sir is my dad. I'm just amazed, man. I'm just amazed. All right, y'all. We about to get this thing cracking.
Awesome.
About to get this thing cracking. 8.5 billion. I want my daddy's records. What time? How much time I got?
Right now, we're looking at just about a 52-minute trip from here to downtown. 30 in the express lane.
I'll get some coffee, and then we can get this thing started.
A little area fog. Temperatures remaining in the 40s today, topping out here.
Oh, I'm just getting old and
Ain't we all?
Listen, I look like
You ain't getting old.
He's not getting old.
He's not getting old. What is going on?
I was just telling them, we all getting old. The older you get, the more you have to do.
Yes.
Amen.
You have to work out,
Get a
you
little
have
harder,
to
don't it?
exercise. Well, you know, it doesn't get a little harder. The hard part is
Sonya, get this door for me, not you, the other Sonya.
Thank you, Dr.
Now, were you out the city together at all? The two of you?
When was I at the city? I was at the city 2001 to 2004. So yes.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show. Wake up, wake up,
Charlie.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show.
Wake up!
Call 773-591-1690.
Wake up. The den, baby, wake 'em up.
Have your attention, please. All passengers with tickets for flight 2 now departing at gate 2 for Woody's Sound Machine.
Can you hear? You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and y'all know how I do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. Gotta say what's up to the Wonder Twins. That's right, Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor, as well as Sonia Tompkins. Yeah. She is my super producer. What's up to my co-host? You know what? He ain't on the couch no more. He got a spot. He got a room. It is former Cook County Board President Ty Stroger. You know we got the Air Marshal in the building. Big Otis Wilson. Now y'all know we are on the Soul Plane. Y'all know I talk about the Soul Plane all the time. We touch down. You know, we take a trip every once in a while. We go across the ocean. We go to we used to go to Wakanda all the time. We ain't been to Wakanda in a minute. You know, every Monday we take a layover in D.C. But when we take off from our airport right here in Chicago, O'Hare Airport. Now, you know what? Every time I get the plane up in the air, though, right, I start seeing, I'm looking down, I'm looking out the window, and I see all these trucks and people moving around and peoples and places and things. And I'm saying, what is going on? So, you know, as I read my paper and I'm in the air, you know, I put it on autopilot. So when I put it on autopilot, remember, I'm not on the 737. No 737. I hit the autopilot, I check out my paper, and I turn it on and I see that the city of Chicago is about to invest $8.5 billion in the airport.
Wow.
Now y'all know me. Did I see $8.5 million? You know, when I see numbers like that, I got questions.
That means jobs.
That jobs. It means contracts. It means opportunity. You know, I want to know what is in it for the black people. So, you know, I got a plug here and there. I got a little plug. So I call the plug. I say, hey, G. I call my boy G-Ball. Y'all might know him as George Coleman. I say, G-Ball, you think you can get the commissioner of aviation to get on the show? No, man, Maze, you know you crazy. Well, be careful putting you on. I can't be putting my boss on the show because you might snap off, and next thing I know, I'm like, G-Ball. So then I say, but G, you know all I got is a question. I just want to know what's in it for the black people. I'm only trying to look out for the black people in this city. And he said, oh, is that it? Oh, well, she'll be there. And so, no sooner did we reach out and get that confirmation. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, it's still the Lions Den. So, I got questions. But, Jamie who I've known for some years now. I remember you back when you were in procurement. Shout out to my girl Shannon Andrews too, who you helped move up in that place, sister. You did such a good job at procurement service, because I remember always being like, hey man, what's up with the black people getting 2% of contracts? This some bull. And by the time you left, you had really revamped the way the contracts and the money in the city was being distributed. And so when you went to aviation, I was pretty charged. I was like, but we got questions. So let's do this. Let's start by, let me welcome to the WVON Morning Show, Commissioner of Aviation. Is that the right way to say it? Commissioner of Aviation, Miss Jamie Reed. Jamie, welcome to the WVON Morning Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. So let's start here. Jamie, first of all, as the Commissioner of Aviation, what specifically is your job? We'll get into the $8.5 billion, but tell me what your job is as a Commissioner of Aviation.
So essentially my job is to run both airports, O'Hare and Midway Airport. We have about over 100 million passengers that pass through those airports every year.
Every 100 million.
100 million
So,
people.
and when you say run it, what does that mean? Are you in charge of the police? You in charge of the what does run the airport mean? Do you coordinate the planes? Help me understand.
Well, there's a lot of different folks that it takes to make sure that the airports are successful, they run efficiently, and they're safe. That's the most important thing. So when you talk about the landing those planes, that's the air traffic controllers. Those are under the FAA. Obviously, the FAA is the authority that oversees us at the airport. Police are out there independently. We have the CPD is out there, as well as TSA, the FBI, CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. So we work with a lot of great partners, and probably the best partners that we have out there are the airlines.
Okay, so the airlines are your partners?
They are our partners. They're our tenants.
Okay.
The city of Chicago owns O'Hare and Midway, so we're the landlords.
Okay.
But we are regulated by the federal government.
Now, how much money transacts through O'Hare? Like, what does O'Hare, because, you know, I always see, when I see an $8.5 billion investment in O'Hare, I say, well, geez, what are we doing about the schools, etc.? What kind of money does O'Hare generate for the city of Chicago?
It generates, not only does it generate tens of thousands of jobs, we have over 40,000 badged employees at O'Hare alone.
40,000?
40,000. And just to put that in context, the town I grew up in, I come from a real small town with 5,000 people. So it is 8 times the size of my town.
Dang!
I never forget that every day. And I never forget the huge responsibility we have to make sure that those people are safe. And so what we do is we run the terminals, we run the airfield, we do all the construction. And I just want to point out that, you know, in addition to everything else, that $8.5 billion, there's no taxpayer money. That is being paid by our airline partners. That's revenues generated at the airport are paying for this. So not $1 of taxpayer money goes into support the airports. Completely self-sufficient, both airports.
Wow. Okay. So with that, so what type of, just help me out. What kind of revenue does the airport generate annually?
Oh my gosh, hundreds and millions of different, through cargo, through concession revenues, through airline leases, other aeronautical uses that we have. So we are just a city in and of itself. We really are. When you look and see all of the different opportunities, and I think that's an important point that you make is, you know, there are opportunities out there that people really don't know about. And that was my first job getting out there, was to make sure that I brought all 77 community areas into the airport. That is our goal. We put those programs in place, like you said, in procurement, to make sure that everyone is getting their fair share. And it's also, everyone can have an opportunity at this airport, whether it is as a job, a career, as being a concessionaire, as being a contractor. You may get into being a mechanic, air traffic controller, drive those planes. I mean, there are from A to Z, which is why we need to make sure we're investing in our communities and getting that awareness out there that there is public transportation to both airports, goes right to it. So we want to make sure we're bringing those opportunities back to Chicago.
Let me go backwards very quickly. You started out, or from where I met you, you were in procurement services here at the city of Chicago. Talk to me about your philosophy when you went in to, because one of the things that happened was that there was a lot of front companies, etc. And there was also, but not so much the front companies, but talk to me about your philosophy when it came to ensuring that black people participated. I know you talk about everybody, but black people specifically tell me about your philosophy and how you were able to achieve the changes.
Sure. So I started at the city. I've had the honor and the privilege of serving this great city for 24 years. Actually, no, 26 years. I started in 1994, and I started in customer service at the airport. It was my first job.
Oh, wow.
I was doing customer service, and I will tell you that set my entire career. Customer service. First thing out of every public employee services mouth ought to be, how can I help you? How can I help you? Government, and my philosophy from walking into that airport over 26 years ago was to say, government is here to help and to remove barriers. Not to tell people how to do business. It is here to remove what is preventing you from being successful at your job, at building a career, at building a business, creating generational wealth. And so really honestly taking all of that, and I have had the pleasure of serving in the mayor's office under Mayor Daley. I served, went back to aviation and served as general counsel from 04 to 08, spent some time in planning. But every single job I've had has prepared me for that job that I got when I went to procurement. And again, that was bringing city business into the 77 community areas. And what I discovered was,
go ahead,
there were a
finish
lot of people that could participate that weren't, for a variety of reasons.
Oh, and you know what? When we come back, I want you to talk about that, and then let's talk about the participation of this $8.5 billion. Because I keep seeing these stories and I see names, but I know that there's some other names that we need to make sure get out there. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back. Good stuff. You all right?
Wow.
I'm old.
Yeah. Don't say that.
I wouldn't say
You're
that.
wild,
So I'll tell you to the audience, one of the things that, Golden Eagle Aviation says, what's up? Do you know Melody Winston?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that I will say is that in the evening time and in the places when you are, so everybody has to do a 9 to 5. But what I found is that after 5, if you are looking for Jamie, oftentimes you find her in places that we frequent. And when I say we, I'm talking about black people. What I have found is that she has had a very good working relationship with black aldermen, but not just black aldermen, black business people. And has been very instrumental in breaking down, when you say breaking down barriers, one of the things that I talk about is when we get to the spot, we try to close the door. One of the things that I have appreciated about Jamie is she has not closed the door, but opened the door and then taken people like George and say, go find people to walk through the door. And so, you know, I'm very rarely do I like people, right? I like Jamie. We got to do more. But that's part of the reason that she's here, is so that we can talk about how we do more. I think that right now we are at a time where we have got to start making sure that we access what is available. And I think right now, I don't think we're going to have very much more power than this, or as many people that are willing to use their positions to advance people. When you hear people talking about generational wealth, when you talk about creating opportunities, that's what we want to hear. Jamie, y'all, Big O, y'all got questions? Get our restaurant, man. We trying to figure out the 46.
The 46.
But, and we can put some gaming in it too.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Just take care.
How do people get into the airport?
So there are concession opportunities that we do through requests for proposals. We have some huge opportunities at O'Hare. Midway, we just executed that deal. I think it was in 20. Let's see here. I can't even remember. It must have been like maybe 3 years.
I need a
2 years ago
black people
for the Midway.
Can we get a Western
and we've got several concessionaires. I think we've opened maybe 10 out of 70. It's just going to keep coming as we evolve into that. But opportunities at O'Hare are huge. We're looking at tearing down one terminal. So we got to look at being flexible, because we're going to tear down Terminal 2. 56 years old. That's old. It needs updating.
I'm 56.
Well, I tell you, when we're talking about the architecture out there, and they say, you know, we got to preserve the mid-modern. I said, when that's from, like the 60s? And they say, oh my gosh, that's me. I'm mid-modern now. I've got my.
Let me be honest with you. Mid-modern ain't that pretty. They can search mid-modern.
That's right. That's right.
They said Jamie won a What's in It for the Black People shirt. Is that true?
Yes,
Ooh.
absolutely.
Oh, well, make sure you rock it at the airport.
Absolutely.
So how do people get there?
So we'll issue a request for proposal.
Get more money to you.
which then we can respond. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm looking at some very innovative ways to get some people that have never been in there right away. So we got long, we got medium, we got short-term goals. So short-term, we're gonna get some people in there. I'd love to talk to you about that.
Exactly.
First step, we gotta get certified.
You know what? At me. I'm getting more money than you. Get more money than you. What you do? I'm getting more money than you. I get more money than you. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man Big O plus my co-host Todd Stroger in the building, and we are talking to Jamie Reed. Now, Jamie Reed is the Aviation Commissioner. She manages one of the world's busiest airport systems, comprised of O'Hara. Did y'all say O'Hara? They used to call it O'Hara back in the day. And Midway International Airports, which serves more than 100 million passengers each year. That means you kind of Big Willie or something around here. So, Jamie, let's move into what our audience always wants to know from me, which is what's in it for the black people. We talk about $8.5 billion. First of all, tell me, what does that 8.5, when you hear people say it's an $8.5 billion reconstruction project at O'Hare, what does that actually mean?
Yep. So the $8.5 billion, we've spent, and actually I said I'd been at O'Hara's general counsel from 04 to 08, and at that point we were really focusing on the runways and reconfiguration of an antiquated airfield system. We had runways that were dissecting each other, and so what we did is we created a parallel runway system, so we'll have 6 on the north, 6 on the south, and 2 crosswinds. Our last runway that we're building, 9 Center, will come on next year, and then we have an extension, 9 right. But aside from that, the $8.5 billion is really going to, our focal point is the O'Hare Global Terminal, which will be the replacement of Terminal 2. It's 56 years old, needs a lot of work. What we really want to make is a seamless transition when you come in internationally. We want to make sure that you know how now when you come in, you have to go into Terminal 5. Right. You clear customs, then you get on it. If you're connecting passengers, which half of our market almost is connecting. Really? Yep. Okay. It's about 40%, 60%, but it's somewhere hovers around 50-50 of people coming in to stay here as their final destination, and then those traveling on. So when people come over from overseas, and they clear customs to transfer to another flight, they have to take that train. And then, so I hate that train. Well, and we're modernizing that right now too. That's part of our plan. Okay. You'll see that coming on September of this year. We'll have a brand new plane or a train that's gonna take you faster, and we'll get you to even the multimodal facility which we opened up, which is our rental car. Yeah. You know I help. Do you know I help get the funding for that, just for the record. Amazing. No, I do, but they didn't keep up with the $30 million commitment. We'll talk about that later, but go ahead. So anyway, what we're going to do is we will be able to have a new international global terminal right in the center of our core. So right in between our 2 hub carriers. We will then have United in Terminal 1, American Terminal 3, and a global terminal right in between, with 2 satellite concourses to the west, which is also included. We are also adding 10 new gates to Terminal 5. We did that groundbreaking a couple weeks ago to get that kicked off, and so we'll be adding additional gates for the first time. We did at International since that was built in 1993. Now, Jamie, here it goes. What's our cut? Okay. What is the black people's cut?
Wait, before you ask that, I just want to ask, how long is the $8.5 billion spent?
So it's over till 2028 is when we expect substantial completion of the O'Hare Global Terminal. Okay, 2028. So, Jamie, and a lot of other enabling projects, obviously, as well as the capital improvement program that we have to do to just sustain the airport. Got it. So talk to me about what is that mean for black people economically?
how much of that 8.5 billion will be spent with black-owned businesses?
So I can tell you that out of the 8.5, if you just purely look at subcontracting opportunities, and we're not, and we have got so many programs in place where we're building capacity from the very small to the small, cutting projects down to $1 million to $2 million, so people can cut their teeth and get in. But if you just look at the subcontracting, not at the prime level, you're talking 32% of 8.5 billions.
Wait, but no. But that's the minority number.
Yeah.
What's the black number?
Well, that's going to depend on who bids, and that's why right now we are trying to get that capacity going and getting people into the airport. And I'm going to highlight.
Back up this though, because you said something, and I want to make sure people understand. Because we always say, man, we didn't get a piece. Talk to me about what does capacity mean and helping people build capacity.
Well, I'll tell you, when we were at, and I remember the days when, you know, I served as chief procurement officer for over 10 years. And I remember when I went in, the numbers were 2%, 3% of the share was going to African Americans.
3%.
3%. And I'm very lucky to have leaders, Mayor Daley and Mayor Manuel, who said that's not enough. Do something.
Okay.
And so I surrounded myself with folks, and Shannon Andrews, shout out to her because she worked in procurement when I got there. And I always say I stole George like a thief in the night from CTA. Brought him over and started getting people to start and really working with the aldermen. Cannot say enough about the Black Caucus and the leadership of Chairman Austin in getting these programs put into place and making them a reality. We started cutting things down. First of all, my thing when I got to procurement was people got to understand what the rules are, because there was a lot of misnomers out there about what the city was or was not doing. And people would tell them there were these old wives' tales, like, I don't do business with the city. And I'd say, why? And they'd say, well, because y'all do X and X. And I said, we don't do that anymore. Come on back.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I feel like that. Because I stopped trying to do business with the city because y'all was putting a brother out of business.
Yep. Nope. So what we did is we started getting out there, we wrote books, we started educating people, and we held them accountable. We held people accountable. So when they said that they were going to use a sub on their contracts, we made sure they did. We just didn't take their word for it. Compliance for us was not something done at the end of the contract. It was done throughout the life of the contract, from the very beginning to the very end.
Bam. And you know what? So can I tell you something? I was just talking to some black vendors who were talking about that, where they get their name put on the contract to get the bid, and then all of a sudden the white contractor would be like, you're not, we got the contract, but you're not going to get paid off of it. You fought that and you fixed that. And compliance all the way through means that, like, what would happen is they would finish the project and be like, oh, I'm sorry, we couldn't find no black people, but it's done now, cut our check.
Yep.
They changed that up.
That's absolutely right.
Now, Jamie, so now talk to me about who bids and why. How do people find out about the bid opportunities? Because if it's 8.5 billion over 2028, it seems like you could be making some millionaires.
We're gonna make a lot of millionaires, and so what I want to go back to that 2 to 3%, because that's where that number was stuck. We've been in double digits for years, and last year aviation we did over 12%. Went to African American certified firms. Now, not all African American firms that participate in city government are certified. That's a choice you make. Some are too big.
Now, why do I certify? Because, you know, I felt like, Jamie, when I certified with the state, like I was qualifying for prime contracts. And then once I got certified, they cooked me out the prime and was like, here goes a minority piece. What does certification get for you?
Well, certification, what that is we have an affirmative action program in Chicago, and we look at every contract opportunity. And for construction, we say 26% has to go to minority, and that's African American, Asians, Hispanic. And then 6% have to go to women-owned businesses.
How did they get a carve out and the black people did?
Women.
Right.
Not just white women, any woman.
But how did women get a carve out within that space?
Yep.
Go ahead.
So women obviously and you look back historically at who has participated, and I always say this, if I put a $120 million bid out for a runway job right now, guess what? Nobody that looks like me or you is going to be at the top.
I'm with you on that.
So we have to make sure that we are creating that. Women have historically been left out of the construction industry as well. And so what we have to do is level that playing field. And so we have different goals. We look at every contract as an opportunity. But what we have to make sure is that we're not forcing people just to be subcontractors, because that's what it always was. This MBWB certification, what that gets you is you're in a database. People have to fulfill these goals. They go in and they look up what kind of services you provide. They put you on the team. That's fine and dandy, except for if you want to be in charge of your own destiny. You don't want to be a sub. You want to be a prime. which is why we created those programs.
Stop right there. We're going to go to traffic, news, and the weather. And when we come back, you're going to tell us about those programs. Because y'all know how I get about programs. Programs. We want to cut. But let's see how these programs will help us get that cut. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I'm perking up here.
You're
I'm
getting
trying
in
to
there.
figure out
We
where
gonna get you
I
that
fit
46,
in.
46.
Cut me in. I got to be part of the team. I'm telling you, Big O. We can put a group together.
Construction.
Oh, that's how you do it. You gotta put
Paving.
There you go.
I'm saying we want the damn restaurant. We want the ongoing.
You say those three, I fit in. So I'm wondering how I get in.
Cut your brother in and I'll let him lobby.
We got to get you hooked up to get you certified.
Right.
That's your first step, is to get
How long does it
certified.
take to get certified?
Well, that depends on the nature of your business. If you've got a bunch of different partners, it takes longer. If you're a sole proprietor, it doesn't take as long.
What if you're marketing?
If you're marketing, you can get, absolutely. We've got construction and non-construction you can get certified. And Shannon Andrews is the one that's in charge of that. So there you go.
Okay.
And we have really cut down. What we did is when we got there, George came over and from CTA back in probably 09, now 10, and we really started looking at the certification process and what questions were we asking, what did we really need to know, how invasive did we have to be. And one thing we did, and Mays alluded to it, we had some folks that were some bad actors, and we had to make sure that the business that we had was going to the legitimate companies, right? Not somebody that was just taking a check. And so, you knock on wood, and I say it every day, we're blessed, but it's that compliance that matters, is you don't see that stuff like you used to. You don't see it, right? And that's partly because we hold people accountable. We're out there checking. We're not just taking the word for it. We want to go out and check and look at those payments, who got paid what, who's being utilized, whose equipment are they using. We want to make sure those companies that are actually doing things right are the ones benefiting from this program. So there's going to be a lot of different opportunities. And so if you want to get, you should get certified as your M, right? You should do for D. M is for non-federal projects. Your disadvantaged is for federally funded projects. This 8.5, we are blessed. This is airline revenue. This is revenue coming into us. This is not federal funds. So normally when you use federal funds, you don't get to use all your incentives at all. They don't let you use local incentives. When we have this, we can use all of our programs because this is not federal money. And then to be a concessionaire in the airports, which is also regulated by the federal government, you have to be ACDB, Airport Concessionaire Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. So that's the first step you want to do. And that's really where we're going to focus a lot of our attention, is getting that pipeline, getting more people into that program of ACDBE, so that when we do bid out, we've got a lot of folks could come in and more than just the folks that are there right now. So.
Okay. Jamie, let's do this. We'll talk about the program, some of the programs, and then give me some people.
Okay.
This is going to be, we'll go till about 47.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do my own show close. But I want to give us some people that got some of those contracts already. That'd be good, that are black. That'd be wonderful.
That's great. We got a lot of, and more coming. You wait till you see what we do with this money.
That's all right. I'm about
77 communities.
We about to get some of that money. Hey, we about Todd. Did you tell her about our firm yet? See, you be forgetting, man.
Do we cheat him in half?
Oh my gosh.
What's up, y'all? Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast.
No, it's truly an honor, but we never forget how, safety has got to be first and foremost in everything that we do. That airport, and we are lucky to have the partners at TSA. I have got a partner out there, Derek, who is amazing. He's the field director for both O'Hare and Midway for the TSA. CBP, we just recently got a new guy out there. We work really well with our partners, and obviously can't say enough about our airlines. They have they brought this and signed that agreement and agreed to use these revenues to fund to upgrade our terminals.
Think about how much money they make to be like, we gonna do $8.5 billion with y'all. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of stuff to do.
And if you look just even at the Aviation.
Hey! The old man said, don't forget about him. We a general contractor.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. Never. Known him for a lot of years.
Okay, so you need to reacquaint yourself.
Yes. Well, we are open for business. The one thing that, and I say this a lot, and people have heard me say it, it's not a privilege to meet with your government.
Man, could you tell these people that?
Salaries.
These people be like, they own their own fiefdoms.
I say it out all the time. It is not privilege. So I'm like 1 or 100. You want me to come out? I'll come out and speak to anybody and tell you what I know. Because everything I've got up here belongs to the people. I've worked 26 years in this government, and guess what? All of the knowledge I have, that's what I want people to know, that it is a level playing field. That you've got a chance. But you got to bid. You got to bid. You got to get in there.
I'm gonna tell you, cause I'm gonna tell you, you gotta do more of these because so many. Like I'm gonna tell you, I did this process 10 years ago, and I was like, man, never again, never again. Shit, I did it with the state, and it wound up giving me a freaking federal investigation. And then they were like, we're sorry. We actually owe you $30,000. Well, great, assholes. You just put me on the front page of the Sun-Times and the Tribune, and it was when Google first came out, so you couldn't change your search. So every time somebody said Google, and it was like, that's really where my whole business, because I wouldn't give your boy's team on Pulaski 2 of my $3 million. I'm like, damn, you gonna put me out of business? I give you $1 million, but damn, I need 2 out of the 3. And they was like, I was like, you realize that will put me out of business? They were like, that's kind of your issue. That's not you. That's nothing to do with you. But yeah. You like, oh, bro. When I got that contract, I had the largest contract, the largest professional services contract in the history of IDOT.
Wow.
I used to sell the city their parking meters, the replacement parts for all the parking meters, and then y'all went to these damn electronic meters, and then it was like, and then to bid you had to have but see, it was like they set the. So I was actually the first person to have the park by me. Like we were the first people to actually have the boxes that they have because we were doing them in other cities. But they put the bid so high that you had to have like $100 million bond to even freaking qualify. And it was like, where the hell am I gonna get $100 million bond? And so then you go to Chase and they put together a conglomerate and they like, we'll fund anything. And so I'm gonna tell you, I checked out of the whole procurement government process because I was like, man. And then you see how these people doing well. Okay. Jamie be at the parties, y'all. Right. I seen her on the floor with this.
Mama getting your groove on, baby.
Why they never on that?
Yeah. Keep me alive. Keep me vibrant.
That's right.
Huh?
Jamming up in here.
You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is Big Otis Wilson. He's the air marshal. I got my co-host Todd Stroger because we are on the Soul Plane. And check this out, y'all. We want some special runway clearance for the Soul Plane when we come in. That's why we got the Aviation Commissioner, Miss Jamie Reed, in the studio. Jamie, before you tell us about the programs, one of my super duper power listeners and president of What's in It for the Black People is also a Section 3 contractor at CHA. And what she often talks to me about, Tamiko, is about barriers to entry into accessing these not accessing the programs, but accessing these contracts. Talk to me about what you're doing to overcome these barriers.
Sure. So a multitude of things. You know, what we looked at was we needed to incentivize the utilization of smaller firms, and especially, you know, firms that had never really participated. Because it is true, you got to build up that bonding capacity. You got to show that you can do it. So we started unbundling projects, and we came up with some programs called Small Business Initiative, where we would take out of a larger package fencing, roofing projects, ADA ramps, things that we could pull out of a larger project and bid standalone. So we started that program, and I remember somebody said, that's great. But in small business, you know, there's a lot of difference between somebody that's been in business maybe doing 10 million revenue and I'm doing 2. So we said, you know what, we need to cut it down even further. So we said we'll do a small business initiative 2 for very small. And then we said, okay, there's other folks that are doing kind of well, and we need to make sure that they're growing. They may be in this space, but we need to make sure that they continue growing, or if they get out of the program, they're going to come right back in.
Right.
One of the first things we did is we stopped kicking people out of the program when they were achieved results. And we came up with a phased graduation approach so that they had a soft landing out.
Okay.
And they could continue to operate. We debundled projects. We came up with our small business, our medium business initiatives. And I'm going to tell you, we really looked at the city and we said, where do we need participation? Where do we can use our economic activity to generate wealth in the city? And we mapped the city out with the Department of Planning, look at the census tract data, and we said, let's look at where poverty, median income, and we looked at unemployment. And we mapped that out in the city, and we called it socioeconomically disadvantaged areas.
Oh.
And what we did is we said, if you find a business or a worker from these areas, South and West Sides mainly, a little pocket up and uptown, you find people, we're going to incentivize you. You hire people from this, we're going to incentivize you. And this led to one of our greatest successes, and that's BOA Construction. NOSA bid, and this was not one of our programs like the Small Business Initiative, this was an outright bid. He was up against majority-owned companies, African-American owned. What he did is he won that contract because he got incentive points for hiring from the community. The majority of his employees were not only from Chicago, but they were from socioeconomically disadvantaged areas. And he is going to open up the police station at O'Hare in May. He is an African-American prime building that police station.
Shout out to NOSA and BOA Construction. I like BOA.
Yep.
They have, and they give back to the,
Yes,
they actually are participating in the neighborhood. So, Jamie, talk to me about, so right now you got a lot going on. Talk to me about, are there any black people we know that are participating? You know, I see in the paper all these fancy names, all these people, but a lot of times there are other people working, they just don't get their name in the paper. Talk to me about some of the people that are participating in the largesse at this contract. Now, I know one of them, which is the Roderick Group.
Roderick Group.
Shout out to Rashad Roderick. He was one of my clients. And Harrison Staley over at Harrison. You know, Harrison was my roommate in college.
Harrison.
Actually, he brought me to the gate. Yes, but talk to me about some people that we might know or care about that are participating. Some black businesses.
You bet. And I hate listing people because I'm always going to forget folks.
Okay, just give us some.
I will. So one thing that we're very proud of is, you know, we just opened up the lead architect. So we have a lead architect that's going to design that new global terminal that will replace Terminal 2. We got Wilbur at the top. Wilbur Millhouse is at the top. Same percentage points as everybody else in a JV there.
Now explain the JV because I understand.
Agreement
so wait a minute, he's part owner in the deal?
He sure is.
And so wait a minute.
He's got the same percentage as Jeannie Gang.
So in the paper, see now let me help you understand because y'all remember I saw that in the paper and I was like, hold on. I just saw that these people are doing this and I saw Jeannie Gang, but Millhouse Construction, who you all remember, he's been on the show a couple times. He actually rebuilt the Red Line too. Right. Brother, U of I. They also run Millhouse Charity. Shout out to my girl Dawn.
Yes, Dawn, great.
Avalon.
He grew up in Avalon. Well, he went to U of I though, so that's really what counts. Give me what else you got, Jamie? So we know Wilbur is working.
Wilbur's there at the top, and he's going to be able to put his fingerprint on this design that's going to live at O'Hare as a center and focal piece for everyone coming. Those 88 million that come through there every year.
Wilbur, we're gonna be to see you, man.
Yeah. You've also got our batch plants. Pat Terrell's been out there for a lot of years operating the batch plant. He's getting ready to move his trailers over, and we're going to start them over on T5.
Now explain what a batch plant is.
A batch plant is for the concrete. That's where we on site can manufacture all of our concrete.
Now this is a black man?
Yes, sir.
What? Okay, come on, Pat. What's what I'm talking about? Now how much money is he making off that? Are they making some millions here?
Yeah. Pat, we've got him almost $9 million.
Good Lord. Okay, keep going.
We've also got Ujama, you know, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy Akintande.
You know, and he actually worked on the multimodal facility, which opened up in October.
Okay.
And he under a Power Ujama joint venture.
Okay.
And they were also just awarded a contract for the CM at risk, which is going to be one of our delivery methods for delivering a lot of this work. $1 billion is going to go through T5 alone. Bids just to revitalize our international terminal because it needs a facelift. So we're going to add those gates, but we're also adding lounge and concession space, a new parking garage. There's a hotel plan for it. So we've got lots of plans coming. So Jimmy's in there. You've also got Livewire doing electric work out there.
Look at that, man.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You got Ardmore. We said Roderick.
How much they doing? Give me some money. How much?
Roderick is interesting because Roderick has not only been a sub on contracts, but Roderick is at the prime level. He's a joint venture with CCA, which is our project management office, and so he is at the top as well. those dollars that he earns as a joint venture, we don't even count in our 12%. Because the joint venture itself's not certified.
Well, let me tell you
so
what.
So there's more money than what we're even reporting.
So I'm gonna tell you, there are people there that we know that have been active in our community, and I'm gonna say this thing is going on. Jamie, I hear oftentimes you guys focus on construction, but for people like myself, we're not construction people. I do professional services.
Yeah.
What kind of opportunities are there for people with professional services?
So we've had Unison Consulting, African American owned company out there for a lot of years, doing our program finance for our contracts. Yvette Drake, she's a dear friend. She does a lot of work out there. And she's
Yvette, come on, dear.
Yeah, that's right.
Yvette.
Yep.
Dear
We've got,
Yvette.
Facility Solutions. They're doing property management over at Midway in Terminal 5. They're working out there. Bradshaw, we've got them. They're out there, John.
Well, let me tell you what, y'all. So here's the thing. And I'm going to tell you, because I always see Jamie in the halls of City Hall, or I see George. I'm like, man, what y'all doing for the black people? She's like, let me tell you. And then she always says, now, did you tell your friends to bid? Because I was like, man, y'all ain't getting no money. You ain't giving no black people no money. And they say, but did they bid? And I say, no, because you know, it used to be when you bid it, if you didn't know X, Y, Z, and the game is changing, y'all.
It has changed, and what I always tell people is, I can guarantee one thing. If you don't bid, you're not going to win.
Right.
I can guarantee that 100%. Now, I can't guarantee if you bid, you're going to win, but I'm going to guarantee you got a fair shot. You got a fair shot, and you got the power of us behind you to make sure that you know what those documents are, that we have educated the community on how to bid and how to fill out those forms, and the importance of understanding the rules. Because again, now, we're not talking taxpayer money with this $8.5 billion. But when you get into the city, we're using taxpayer money. We want to make sure that when you bid, you're ready. And that's where we spent a lot of focus going out into the groups and actually teaching folks. We wrote a book. We wrote a couple of them. One is called the Procurement Fundamentals. We teach a class. Shannon has done a great job at expanding that. Because one of the things that Shannon and I working so closely together, one of the things was that we, have an opportunity now to implement the programs that we put in place. Because a lot of these are newer. So what we had to make sure was that we were taking these programs, and as I told the alderman when we got to 8.5, let's take them out for a spin and see what they can do.
Hey, Jamie, tell people how they can find out more about this, about what's going on, and how they can get involved in the airport.
You bet. So we go through, our contracting goes through procurement. They do produce an 18-month buying forecast that shows you exactly what's coming up quarter by quarter. What small business initiatives.
Where do they find it?
That's on DPS's website. You can go to www.chicago/DPS to find that, and also sign up. You can also certify online. We were talking a little earlier about your MW, your ACDVE, your DVE, and then also you can go to flychicago.com for us, and we'll post everything there as well.
Hey, that is Jamie Reed. She is the Aviation Commissioner, and she is out there trying to make sure. You know, when I said you better be able to answer what's in it for the black people, she said, "Bring it on!" And so she is here, and you know what? We'll have her back. Shout out to my man George Coleman for putting it all together. It's the WVON Morning Show. We'll be back for the wrap for the weekend. I'll be back. I'm blue.
You guys are amazing.
Good job, Jamie. Good job. Good job.
So there's going to be a lot more coming. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of room for folks. We just got to get them back into the system. They got to know that they got a shot. So that's why we go out, and you see George and I out in every community area, going out there and making sure people know about the resources and the tools that are available for them.
Okay.
Love you,
Jamie.
all.
Thank you.
46.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
The
Big O.
46.
I'm telling you.
It's so nice to see you again.
Same here.
Take care, dear.
You too.
And never ever hesitate. I'm gonna give you my card.
Yes,
so
please.
if you don't call me, I'm gonna be offended.
Oh, the plug. Dad, you got the plug.
I'll be calling you.
Please do. Anytime. And
trying
send anybody
figure out
to me.
Somebody that,
Send anybody to me.
that's never done this process.
That's right. Well, and I tell people all the time.
Sometimes they might be afraid to.
They're afraid, or they heard something
I ain't gonna
bad.
get nothing.
I ain't gonna get no. Why would I? They don't pay. They don't do this. They don't realize they have this resource. So I say, if you hear people out there complaining I ain't getting paid, or somebody treated me rude, or I didn't like, let me know, because you're telling everybody can't fix it. So let us try to fix it.
Yeah.
Thank
We'll
you.
figure out where I fit in.
All right. God bless you. Thank you,
Yes,
dear.
indeed.
You
Thank
guys
you.
are awesome.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
bet.
Say no.
See you, my man.
My man.
Take care of yourself, my man.
All right, Mr. Todd.
Yeah.
All right.
See you, man. See you, man.
Ooh. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, that's a tough nut to crack. To have somebody on your side.
Amen.
You know.
That is a tough nut to crack.
All right.
Bye, babe.
Thank you.
Good job. Love you, thank you.
See?
Yeah, man. That's the key right there.
Well,
Figuring out where you fit in.
what do we always say? Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Y'all come back to y'all seats. Close that up.
And you say, and you got to know somebody.
Well, you know somebody now. You know the chief. Let me tell y'all what though. They be spreading that. They go hard on giving. The reason I ain't go hard on her for real is because if you go, no, seriously, if you go big, they finding something for you to do. They are finding work. They are literally everybody I know that has gone over there and filled out the paperwork has found themselves the recipient of something. Something. And it's like because they want to win and because I'm telling y'all, this whole what's in it for the black people, and it ain't just what's in it for the black people, but the fact that black people are waking up the way that they are, and you see like her, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, so they get points in their book for, right?
Okay.
I'm down.
Yes, I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna sure find out where I fit in.
Right. I'm just telling you, we got the. I'm saying, like, to me, you know, you could put a restaurant group together real quick, and somebody would be like, if you did 46 and it was Big O's and 8 or Big O's or something like that, and you put it in the airport, you know somebody. First of all, you know a bunch of white boys would jump on it and be your partner if they knew they could get in on the airport deal. Right? And you become the celebrity. You take 51% because you got the open door. Then they say you get them access to the place because they can't go where you go. And then people stop by and y'all just cut me in and I'm straight.
Construction as well.
Now you know who you need to talk to on that? I'll tell you later. Yeah. See, you gotta stop talking about my people. You can have.
Yeah. I got a percentage.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna get all kind of work out there.
Now stay woke. We ain't been tripping.
Baby, baby.
Close your eyes. Wow. You are tuned into the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I'm trying to, you know what, y'all? I try to do right by y'all. You know, I know when it's time to put the whooping stick on, and I know when the money is. And when the money is around, bro, it's like, you can't whoop everybody. And I'm going to tell you, we just had the lady in the building who is doing $8.5 billion. She's going to spend $8.5 billion. Now, this is what we can do, y'all. We can be mad, or you can do like Big O, make a friend, and get ahead. I'm going to tell you all that there's $8.5 billion being spent in the city of Chicago. And whether you got an attitude or not, they gonna spend that money. We need to get our cut. We need to get our cut. Shout out to Jamie Reed. Hey, y'all, is that the, wait a minute. Is the governor in the studio again? What is going on? You know that when the governor is in the studio, big things are happening. Now, they are telling me that today, the governor is going to be the first person that our mayor-elect talks to. It is only fitting that the mayor come kiss the ring of the governor. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, he might be the president in my book, right? But it is Cliff Kelly, so y'all make sure y'all tune in for this show afterwards. What y'all got going on this weekend, fellas?
Oh, this is a quiet weekend. Working on the football camps, getting ready for the summer, you know. getting the kids. I got to keep our kids right.
Right.
So I'll be working on my football program and the golf outing. So this was a light weekend.
Big O, Todd said he been working out because he ready.
I'm
He
ready.
preparing for the cage match.
Yeah.
He said it's gonna be pay-per-view. I can't wait to see
Probably
this.
have somebody to go to your golf out.
Hey, Big O, when is the golf out?
It's July 23rd.
Okay.
At Harborside.
Harborside.
That's 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah,
I know I'm coming.
Harborside.
You know what, Harborside? Shout out to my man Clayton Harris. Cause Clayton is over there. Isn't Clayton over there now? He runs that whole thing.
Yeah.
You talk to him.
I saw him out there.
You
He
make
told
sure
me.
Clayton. Clayton. You make sure you take care of Big O out there, man. Ty, what you got going on this weekend?
Well, there's a Louisiana alumni party going on.
Wait, Ty, you going to a party?
I'm trying to bring my wife.
Ty, what do you do at the
my
party?
plan is to make it.
You better go home and take a nap.
It's going to be an M at 5 o'clock, and Alan King's going to be the DJ. So.
Oh wow! Oh.
Yeah. So, they asked me to talk Janine into going, so, I'm
Now, what is
start
this?
talking now.
Is this a Xavier party?
No, it's Xavier, Dillard, Grambling, Southern. Everybody's invited.
Oh, so y'all got a total of like 75 people that'll be there? Cause you that black people in school in Louisiana. Oh, I forgot my wife went to.
I'm gonna have to tackle him after the.
What's up with him talking about tackling? He must have ate some Wheaties today, man. Todd being tough. That's tough Todd today. Hey y'all. Now, you know what? This is actually kind of a chill weekend for me. You know what, y'all? I've been on the go. So let me tell you what. I started out with Fox News, did the podcast. Then had Windy City Live. I told on myself on Windy City Live. There was a lot of brothers hitting me up like, really, dog?
Oh man, you were all humid and stuff.
They was like, brothers was like, man, dog, you done changed. You done put the heat on us. I'm going to, you know what? Without there being an election this weekend, I think I'm just gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna enjoy some time with the wife, hang out a little bit.
You owe it to yourself.
Man, you know what? And then maybe, I might get on the grill.
Uh-oh.
I think I might get on the grill. You know what I am going to do, though?
That's a good idea.
What? I mean, I have a question. Because next week, you know what? It's the Game of Thrones countdown. Do you watch Game of Thrones, Big O?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Big O.
Yes,
See,
I do.
Todd is lame.
I am gonna start binge watching.
You should binge watch this week because you got a lot to catch up.
Tonight.
Right. And you got to do a
Then
season.
you might catch up.
I might catch up.
Let me tell y'all, next week is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be Game of Thrones week all next week. I think that I'm going to have a Game of Thrones party, and there's going to be no utensils. You got to eat with your hands.
Like they do.
Right? I'm going to cook like, I'm going to hold chickens and bread and wine, and I'm going to have chalices. You got to just rip it and eat it, and we're going to be like the Game of Thrones, and I'm telling y'all, it's going to be off the chain. Now, I'm going to tell y'all.
Don't forget the jug of wine.
Ooh, we got to get the jug of wine. They got goblets. We can go over on the west side and get the goblets.
Yeah.
We going to get them all blinged out. You know what I'm saying? You have a pink one?
Ooh.
I never got a goblet. I feel kind of bad.
Pink back in the day.
You shoot. Yes, you ain't been out west, have you, Big O? Big O, you go out west, you get anything. Yeah, right. Madison Pulaski, you get anything, any color you want. We did not finish the puzzle. I think this weekend, Carrie and I will work a little bit on the puzzle because we got a 3D Game of Thrones puzzle. You know what? Y'all, I think I might go live this weekend as well because I feel like I got some things that I need to get off my chest. Plus, be on the lookout on Sunday evening. I think you will see my latest masterpiece, my latest written masterpiece. Where is this machine you speak of? Where is this machine? Because Tony Preckwinkle did not benefit from it, and I don't know if it still exists. Look, y'all, Sonia is giving me the sign, which means that it is Friday. So for Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, for the Wonder Twins, that's right, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins, for the Air Marshal, Big Otis Wilson, for my co-host, he off the couch, y'all, Todd Stroger. I am
Getting in shape.
the host of the WVON. Right, because y'all, we going to see the cage match, Big O and Todd. Todd, you can't be wearing no Speedos either. Look.
Spandex all the way.
I am the host of the WVON Morning Show. Oh, you just killed my eyes. I just can't unthink of that. I am the host of the WVON Morning Show. You don't like it, you can tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace. All right, y'all. I can't wait to see that.
Oh man, you're gonna be like, boy, that guy's buff.
Who? Big